time, and I can't think of the exact time, but this year. I'll
No
say this year.
problem. No problem. I know those lights are
I
blinding.
know. I can only see. But
All
yeah,
right,
I'm a
guys.
human being too. Yes, yes,
You
yes.
are a human being. And let me just reiterate that you are being an absolute great sport. So here's what we're going to do. Because,
Thank you,
I, I know I have
what's
missed
the
it.
date, time, and the phone number that man that you said you was? I'm like, bro.
Listen, I know she gonna get me. She gonna try to get me. But
No,
here's what we're
next
gonna
week,
do.
baby.
Next week, guys, listen.
Wednesday.
Next week we're gonna do this, but in reverse. We're gonna see if she can get. Who thinks she can get the lead? Come on,
Listen,
listen.
the lead been trying to
Attorney,
pick apart. Really? Okay,
attorney
really?
versus attorney. We're gonna do this on her channel. Please go over there. Y'all go subscribe. If one of the moderators could drop the link to her channel. This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna let Suzette have the last word, and I'm gonna drop her. I'm gonna bring you guys up, but I do not want to bring you guys up while she's up, because Lord knows who the hell, unless she wants to. But
No,
we
I
don't
mean,
really.
I can always remove myself. So if
Okay, here's what we're gonna do then. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna leave Suzette up, and you guys come up and you guys ask your questions, right? Because shout out to No Glaze Off. No Glaze Off says, TLA, please let a brother on the live. So that's what we're gonna do. What's we're gonna do? What does Abby say? Abby says Suzette is fine as wine. Okay,
Aw,
listen, we got a lot of
thank you,
supporters.
Abby.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop the link. Whoever wants to come up and ask Suzette a respectful question, and please be respectful, guys. And let me do this. Let me just say, just to be clear, all right. If you're not respectful, I'm gonna have to ban you, all right? Because we're not here to really, go wild. Don't come up there. If you want to stay in if you want to be disrespectful, stay in the chat, all right? Everybody assumes the chat is wrong. So please, just say what you gotta say, stay in the chat. And I got some moderators in the chat too, so they're looking, okay? But if you come up here and you wild out, I might have to ban you. Okay? Let's be respectful. Let's be respectful. To our guests. So I'm gonna drop the link right now. If you want to come up, please do. I know I missed some super chats, so I'm gonna go back and get those. I appreciate everybody. So I'll drop the link. While we are waiting for you guys to come up, let us hear the most beautiful female voice on YouTube, not the male voice. El Guapo got that locked down. What does the beautiful Jessica X have to say to us?
If you are coming up into the show, you are waiving your right to privacy. You are a willing participant of the show. The shows will stay up on YouTube, so do not come up unless you are willing to be part of the show. If you're not willing to, you're not comfortable with having yourself up here, do not come up. So again, disclaimer. If you want to be part of the show, you are waiving your right to privacy.
All right. Don't come up here and start stripping and like Black Beauty and then try to get me to take it down. I ain't taking it. That was loud.
Yikes.
I always do that. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about whoever's wearing headphones. I apologize
ladies, y'all
for that.
come up, please, ladies.
Ladies, she's so right. Where the ladies
y'all wanna
at?
come and let the men? He reading all the men chat. He reading everybody's chat, and I'm like, wow, there's no women watching. Well, I know that's not true because they came over to my channel.
Listen,
so
wait.
That's why we offer some ladies some space in this male space.
Where the ladies
we
at?
Want the men.
Where
but
the
I'm
ladies
just like,
at?
I am not an anomaly. I am not, a unicorn. I am not. So I really, in my heart of hearts, there's so much more. TLA, I can't wait till Wednesday.
She said she can't wait.
Because I want to be so respectful to you and your platform. I respect you with so much like a big brother. So I don't want to come over here talking crazy. But when you come over, please understand. There's so many questions the ladies too have sent me.
Y'all hear her.
What's up with this gentleman?
Y'all hear her.
We the same boat. We single. We ready to mingle. But there's so many things, privacy concerns included. You want to get all up in my business, in my bed, in all my stuff. And I'm like, once again, I want to elevate the conversation, and I want to hear what the gentlemen have to say equally. But I think there's some ladies who could definitely co-sign on some of the experiences I've outlined. Let you know that we out here, we ready. And you talk about what's wrong with the men, like what's wrong with us. I'm like, wait,
here's what we're gonna do, guys. I see we got some people in the back, but I'm gonna prioritize the women on this one. Everybody who's in the back, I'm gonna bring them up, but I'm gonna prioritize the women. Let's get some women up here. What does Mark Anthony J say? Career women saying they would make or could be great wives is like a plumber walking into a hospital asking to be a heart surgeon because they want to. Career women tend to lack the mindset, experience, and ability. Agree or disagree? So do you agree or disagree with this
I would
statement?
say there's a lot of men walking around talking about their husbands, and they might not lack the experience and the mindset. I think that cuts both ways.
Both ways?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think there's
got you.
so much assumption that men are ready and men want. There's so much assumption around that in this.
You don't think men are ready for marriage?
I don't think they want it. Some of them, they talk a lot of talk. Sometimes it's a hookup thing, baby. We talking apples and oranges. A lot of times we're assuming all these men want to be married, but 59% of Black people are not married. So it's all women. I don't know. It seems one-sided, TLA.
We're gonna see. Well, let me. TLA is not nice. Jesus Christ. I feel like Inoki is going to send me a damn email.
No, I still send him an email. Don't send him no emails, please. No,
right.
I'm just thinking, like I said, everybody sees what's wrong and tends to beat up on women. And I'm like, guys, let's talk about what we can both do.
All right, guys. So here we go. We got a woman up here. We got Love Ice, aka Love. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you, Lord.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming up. I don't know. Well, let's see. Kind of, what are your thoughts on what we've been talking about so far? You've heard Suzette up here defending women. Apparently, what do you think about this?
The question that you asked her about approaching a man, I've never heard. I don't agree with that. Period. No, I'm not approaching no man.
Okay.
Big up yourself, my sister. I understand that.
Oh my God! Here they go. Here they go.
We're not taught to do that.
I don't.
If you go church, if your people go church,
me,
you don't. Come on, man.
Somebody was approaching it in the chat saying that Love Eyes. Come on. You have these 10 men out there that you can approach. No. That's a red flag. Because I said that's a red flag. The person said, no, that's not a red flag. I said, yes.
Okay, wait. I'm going to pause you for a second. Did anybody just catch what happened? Is there anybody in the goddamn chat that just caught what happened?
CLA,
or is it me? Is it me with my half a fucking ear that just? Oh, and Suzette gonna put me in the hot seat. I caught it. Did anybody catch it? Did anybody catch what just happened?
Oh my God.
Listen. Yes, somebody, I just saw it. Somebody said she flipped the script. Absolutely. Flip it again. Did anybody just catch it? And I let her go. I let her rock. Because, lead attorney, you're so mean.
No,
don't interrupt her, lead attorney. In my head, I was like, yeah, keep snapping. Keep snapping. Keep doing all of this snapping because I'm going to call you out when you're done.
You're going to. Leave.
Did anybody catch what just happened?
I don't know if you don't understand patois, so let me break it down for you.
Oh, now first it's the lights. Now it's the patois.
No, it's the patois.
I do. I'm in Jamaica, right?
Yes, I'm born in Jamaica, raised here. But let me ask you this. Let me actually clarify for my brother Lee, because we are going to keep parsing little.
It's like, not little. You said the opposite.
It is. Wagwan. Let me tell you Wagwan. So if I am talking to my sister here, I'm trying to emphasize the fact that what she said is how I grew up. What she said is the mindset I was cultivated in.
And you said it was wrong. And you said it was wrong. You said they taught you wrong.
Exactly. I go up to
why are you
now.
snapping? If it's wrong.
I'm agreeing with her that this is how I feel when I was in my 20s. This is what I thought. This is exactly what I thought. So I'm co-signing with her. Not that I say that is what's going up now. I'm just I was excited to hear someone knows this is the type of big time drum. Wow,
yes, as Jamaican,
this is what I was raised under.
I'm not going to walk up to you.
It is not a flip. I go up to men now, but I was very excited to hear that. Listen, I'm not the only one that was indoctrinated with the fact that you're not supposed to do that.
Listen,
That's how I was indoctrinated. That's how.
I think it's a red flag. I think
that's how I was indoctrinated. So if I'm listening to her and I'm excited that she's saying the same thing, I'm like, oh yeah, this is exactly what I was
worse
brought up
as a Jamaican, yeah.
to do. But I have
Oh my
I have to go up to people now. Oh Lord, oh come on, please.
Oh my God!
You kind of they get it out of control with that. That's so funny. This is so
we just
funny.
teasing. You just in the hot seat. It's just warming up.
No,
It's just
it is not. And I'm so
She's
excited to
cool.
hear that
She's
there's
cool.
a person that understands very much that train of thinking. But we gotta go up to y'all now. I get it. I get it.
No, this is fine. All right. Shout out to Book of Alpharonomy. Shout out to Book of Alpharonomy. Dr. Boa says, would Suzette give up her career to be a wife and a mother for a man who greatly
I already
out
said that.
earns?
Yes.
Well, let's just wait. Let's just assume that the people in this stream didn't necessarily see the other ones, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So, so much to render her income obsolete. What do you think about that?
If I could stay home, raise kids, and YouTube, that's what I would do.
That's what's up.
I think yeah, absolutely.
All right, so let me ask you, Love Ice, aka Love, just so that we can get a kind of a range. Are you in your 30s or where are you? Are you in your 20s? Where are you at? Just generally.
I'm 41.
You're 41. Okay. Are you married with children? Kind of what's your deal?
No, I'm single 2 years now.
You're single 2 years. Do you have any children?
I have 3 boys.
3 boys. Okay. How high on the scale from 1 to 10 would you say marriage is for you in terms of a priority?
1.
Is 1 as in it's the highest priority or it's the least priority?
1 is the highest.
1 is the highest for you. So you're saying that to be married to you is the highest priority?
Yes.
Okay. Does it make sense just logically? Does it make sense if something is the highest priority to you on earth that you would not go and get it? That you would not go, if you see a man that you are attracted to, who you think might be a good husband, if finding a husband is the highest priority, does it make sense for you not to go talk to that man, just to wait around and see if he's going to talk to you?
I would talk, but the approach of saying, okay, I'm interested, no, that would be totally opposite. But yes, I'll call to you.
So how are you gonna grab your highest priority if you're just gonna sit there and hope that it comes?
Put myself out there.
What does that mean?
I mean, being out there, talking about it, discuss it, have a platform. So you're gonna talk. He must find you, one way or the other.
He must. Wait. Let me just get this straight. You said he must find you one way or the other.
Yeah.
Guys, and this is so interesting. This
what
is just
yours is yours. Nothing can fuck that. Yes. When I found our friends that go off of them, like every day, I saw it. No workout. You don't even work out for a month. So why am I gonna try it?
Wait, say that again.
I have friends who go off of them plenty times, and it don't work out for not even a month.
Okay, so you're saying that the man must find you. Like if he's for you, he must find. Like you don't even have to. You don't have to leave your house. He must find you.
He must find you.
Okay. All right. You gonna snap for that, Suzette?
I want to ask her. No, I'm not upset with that. I'm gonna ask her.
I said, are you gonna snap for that?
No. I want to ask her the same thing. I think men are questioning, and I see a couple of messages here backstage. So when you say, my sister, how is a woman approaching? They're asking how is a woman approaching a man a red flag for you? What do you see? I know you said the outcomes for your friends who are doing that. They end up with a man for a month and then they get dumped. Like why is it such a red flag? I think they're still curious as to why you would never do that if that's what you say you want.
It's just like when they tell a man, say, okay, then you are going to do. I'm not sure how much I can say on the chat.
No, you're just talking to us. Don't worry about
the
chat.
Talk.
Okay. It's just like when a man tell us, say, come give me a blowjob, and say, okay. Him don't do oral. You understand? And then the woman find herself doing the blowjob and doing the oral. There's no respect there. The respect lost. It's the same thing as approaching it to a man as a woman. I have friends who do blowjob, like everybody she met is just blowjob. And then on the respect, every say, oh, she's pretty. She's pretty. She's pretty, nice, sexy, attractive. And then don't respect her because they're not going down on her and she's the only one that's doing it. So there's no respect there. So why am I going to approach a man? Worse for going to give him blowjob. Ew. Hell no. Too many persons around me experience now.
I hear you.
I'm learning from them.
Okay. All right. Let me get this straight. I'm not even going to do it. All right, listen. Thank you so much, Love Ice, aka Love, for coming up. Really appreciate it. I love your accent, by the way. I love it. So shout out to all the Jamaicans. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, my sister. Blessings.
Kevin would have got into that. I can't even do it. I can't even do it. All right. All right.
I asked, I guess so, yeah.
That got deep real quick. All right, let's bring up Gorgeous Natural. Shout out to Gorgeous Natural. What the hell's going on? Gorgeous, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay, we got the sisters up here. What do you think about?
Lee, we gonna act like that just didn't happen.
Yeah, we're gonna. Wow. Okay, but marriage is her number one priority. Okay. All right. Man of prestige. Yeah, that shit just went left quickly. Yeah, that turned right there. All right, Gorgeous Natural. Kind of, thank you for coming up. Kind of, what do you feel about all this? Are you supporting what your sister Suzette Speaks is putting down? How do you feel about that?
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like just because we're men and women, we're gonna have different perspectives on, dating. Of course, I can't have a negative perspective on a woman because I don't date women. I have my negative experiences with men. So I feel
Wait, let me just jump in for you. Let me just jump in.
Mm-hmm.
You said that you cannot have a negative experience or a perspective with the women because you don't date women, right? But there is a woman who is an expert, right? She's an expert. And she has a lot of experience with women, even though she doesn't date women. So you can absolutely, Gorgeous Natural, have your opinions on your sisters, even though you don't date them.
No. And that's absolutely true. What I mean is I'm hearing stories from men about their negative experiences with women. Okay. I don't personally have those. And like you said, that woman is an expert, so she probably seeks out that information. Yeah. So that's more so what I was hitting on. Not necessarily I don't hear about the negative interactions that men have with women, but I also think that a lot of men like to paint all women with one stroke of a brush.
Oh, here we go again. Here we go again.
I really do. 'Cause, I mean, what I've heard over the years, because you just want to take, constructive criticism from your opposite sex so that you can incorporate that and do better in the dating pool. So you want to hear what the men have to say about, interacting with women, and you take what applies and you let the rest fly. So, I've decided to, work on myself, go to therapy, offer what I want to receive. And I'm still having an issue with attracting a man that I'm compatible with. I've met men that are nice. I've met men who are interested, but they're not yet ready to give me what I need. So I have to pass them up. I mean, I understand what Suzette is talking about. At the end of the day, where I'm at in my mind is I would love to be a wife. I would love to have children. I have no children. But I'm not going to force it and settle just because a subset of men say that I should, because I'm a certain age. But I'm not going to settle. I'd rather be by myself and be happy, because I've learned to love myself and enjoy the time that I spend with myself. So anyone that I want to share that time with, I want them to add to it. I don't want them to take away from it. And if so be it, I don't find that man in my lifetime, then, I'm going to include in my life things that make me happy. I'm going to spend time with people that make me happy, and I'm going to live my life to the fullest regardless. But I'm hoping that, that man will come along that will make me smile and want to join me for the ride, and we have a good time. But until I
Yeah,
find
but
that,
when you say that, when you're like, okay, well, if the man comes and that's cool, and if he doesn't come, then I'm gonna enjoy my life. That's cool, but it makes it sound like finding a husband and having kids is not a priority. If something is a priority for you, it's not like if it just doesn't happen, it's all good. If something is a priority, you really try and go get it, and you're serious about it. And it doesn't sound like, and if finding a husband and having kids is not a high priority for you, that's fine. Some women don't even want to be married. On the scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest, how high would you say? How high would you put finding a husband and having kids on your priority list if 10 was the highest priority?
I would say it's a 10. And I understand what you're saying. It sounds as if I'm not being intentional about finding someone. I think,
Correct.
I'm 32. So I think I am kind of making my mind up to understand that there's pee in the dating pool. And if I don't come across this person, I don't want to spend my life in misery because I didn't find that person. I'm trying to more so mentally prepare myself that it's a possibility it might not happen. I can put myself in as many spaces as possible. I work in a very professional setting. Right now, because of COVID, we're not really having work events. But as soon as that resumes up, that's another space that I'll put myself in where I'll intentionally put myself out there to, attract the type of man that I want. But if it doesn't happen, I have to be able to be okay with the fact that it's just going to be me. I don't ever want to settle and be with someone who would make my life not what I deserve. Does that
Let
make
me,
sense?
yeah, let me ask you this, because we hear this a lot about women, and let me just give it about not settling. Let me give a huge shout out to Tam. Shout out to Tam. Says, Suzette, keep your smile up and date all over the U.S. Yeah, date in Arizona, everywhere. We got a man in Nevada that said he will honor you. Okay, just do a mental check on some of these folks. Shout out to Tam, always supporting the lead attorney. Thank you so much. Let me ask you. Let's what are you looking for in a man, let's say?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
I would like a man who is considerate of me. I would like a man who is intelligent. He's ambitious. I guess I can go down the line. I have it written down in the book, my little prayer journal.
Wow. Okay, guys, listen. This is what guys are talking about.
What?
She got the whole list, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just interesting because guys don't do this. So we find it fascinating that you've got the whole list written down in the prayer journal, whereas a woman might hear that and might say, "Girl, I've got that too." So there's no judgment in it. We're just different genders, right?
No, right.
So there's nothing wrong with that. Now let me ask you.
We taught that. I'm sorry to interrupt. We were taught that.
Absolutely.
To write it down. That's
Absolutely.
what we're taught.
And you manifest what you want. Like,
so, sorry
I
to
manifested going to get my master's. I manifested buying my house. I manifested all of that. So I feel as if I want to make it true in my life, I need to write it down and I need to actively work toward it. And that's no different with finding a husband.
Gotcha. Now, that list that you have, do you remember how many points are on that list?
I want to say I've crossed out maybe about 4 over the last year or two.
And this is interesting. This is interesting. I love that. Why do you think you crossed those 4 out?
Because I think I had to be realistic. Just as Suzette was saying, like, I've given up physical attraction. Like, I can be attracted to someone's energy, someone's spirit, someone's mind. Absolutely, Suzette. Those are the things that are the most important. Like,
well, let me ask you this, and I don't want to. No, I know I keep interrupting you, but I kind of want to. I want to explore this. Let's say you got a list of 10 things, and over the years you're getting older, you start crossing some things out, right? So now you got a list of 6 things, and it could be as you get older, when you're 38, now the list has gone down to 3. Now in your head, you can say, well, these are the most important 3 things, and that's true. To me, you know what that looks like? If I look at your first list versus your last, if I look at your 25-year-old list versus your 45-year-old list, when there are 2 things hanging on there, it looks to me like you've settled.
No, because, not really, because if I've crossed out things on my list, I've probably changed the where I am in my life as far as what I actually want. So, of course, the things that I want when I'm 25 aren't the things that I probably want when I'm 38. So, like, for instance, when I was 25, I was looking for someone who made a lot of money, which was preposterous.
So now you're not looking for that?
You know, because...
Wait, so you're not looking for a man that makes a lot of money now?
I'm looking for someone who makes a comfortable income for themselves. That's what I am. But I'm talking about just the immaturity of the things that were on my list at 25. That's what I mean. So, like,
here's the thing: it's not like you're adding new things on there.
I have added new things up there, but it's not going to be it's not going to be as many things up there. But I definitely added certain things because as I got older, as I matured, certain things were more important. Like, does he have a sense of self? Like, is he insecure? Is he controlling? Does he make me happy? Those weren't things I put on my list at 25. I was like,
is your list handy? I would love to see what this damn list says. I would love to hear it.
Hold on.
Yeah, let's go find this list. Let me guys, we're gonna get into the female psyche today.
Yes.
Are you fuckers ready? We're about to take a deep dive into the female mind today. All right, they're gonna break out the list on us. Shout out to Dexter Matthews again, so important. Thank you so much, Dexter Matthews. Says, in reality, we all have our lives, and the accountability for the achievement of our dreams and goals falls strictly on our shoulders. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dexter, for supporting. Really, really appreciate that. And I will be honest, if I have a list of 20 things, you let me know when you're here, Jess. All right. If I have a list of 20 things, and over the years I cross off 5, and then I add 1, and then over more years I cross off another 5, and then I add 1, and over another years I cross off 5, and I add 1. Now over the years, it started off as 20. Oh, sorry about that. Started off as 20, and now it's 4. To me, on paper, it looks like I've settled. Now, I understand the opposing argument is like, no, you didn't settle. You just focused on what was important. Well, I have a question. Why didn't you focus on what was important in the beginning? Why is it the damn list was 20 points in the beginning? Like, why is it that young women cannot focus on what's important in the beginning? What do you think about that, Suzette?
Lack of maturity. I think what she pointed out is that at 25, your mind is not yet, hasn't seen the world, hasn't lived, hasn't dated enough. So what you think is important, the physical aspects of dating are more important at 25 than maybe a little older. So I don't know if it's settled, but I understand your point. But yeah, I think she's changing what she desires. She has evolved.
Yeah, and to a man, because we're men, like if I go to a woman and I know from the rip that she is not attractive to me, that sounds like I fucking settled. Like if the woman is not attractive and I'm on my 3rd date being like, oh, like I'm set. Like TLA, you could do better. You could do better. Why are you on the date with this woman? But she's so nice. I understand. But
men have that privilege, TLA. We don't have that privilege.
What privilege don't you have?
That of selection, period.
Talk about that. What do you mean?
You have a greater selection. You can't afford to let that not so or average person pass by because you're not as attracted to them. But as we pursue men, we have to realize, again, there's a limited pool. So you might just admire his haircut. That's it.
Wow. Like, listen, Suzette dropping knowledge sometimes, guys. I mean,
I love a fresh cut, no. But I've been on dates where I'm like, bro, he got a fresh haircut.
Wow. How would that
make... It's not a matter of being mean. It's not a matter... It's just that, like, again, physically, sometimes you're not initially attracted to somebody, but over time, even in arranged marriages, they'll say, like, I didn't like my husband first, but then I liked him. So, I mean, I think for women, it's different. I don't know.
No, I totally agree. I think it's fascinating. Jamie St. Patrick says, why do they just write what they want in a man in a manifest journal? Why not also write a cookbook? Oh shit.
Dang, Jamie St. Patrick.
He said, why don't they also write a cookbook, submission, and not having an attitude in the some of y'all guys hit hard. Shout out to Jamie St. Patrick. He is not
that was straight to the gut, Jamie. Thanks.
Jamie is not messing around.
Hey,
All right.
TLA, I'm back.
All right. Thank you so much. So yeah, tell us that we really appreciate this, and you're really helping a lot of men because there are 2,200 people in the chat. No man has a manifestation of the list of the women, the characteristics, not one. So you're really helping us out.
Right.
So yeah, what's on your list in the manifestation section for the men that you want?
Okay, so my first thing is I want him to be God-fearing.
Mm-hmm.
My second thing is that I want him to be ambitious. I want him to be compassionate, considerate. I want him to have a positive outlook on life. And I want him to have goodness, I can't even understand my handwriting. I want him to have basically a decent income for himself, be able to take care of himself.
Okay. And so what did you said that you crossed out some things? Because
that was when I was 25. I don't got that journal. That's the journal you was wanting me to get.
Oh, I didn't know you had multiple journals.
Yeah, throughout my life, I journal.
See, I mean, you got jokes.
No, I didn't. Guys don't know how this works, right? And to me, if you got a list and it's got 5 things, it's like you can't remember that. Like, why did you? You got a list of 5 that you can't remember.
I thought you wanted to hear what I wanted right now, and off the top of my head, I didn't know if I was reading everything that I wrote down.
I just think it's weird that, oh, let me get my Post-it and just write. It's not a Post-it, but it's like it's 5 things.
What?
But I understand.
Hold on.
Maybe that's part of the manifestation. Okay.
I went and got my book. So I tried to read exactly what I wrote down.
Okay, and listen, I appreciate it. I didn't have an understanding of the purpose of the book. I'm a man. No man keeps books.
I didn't know that you wanted the list from when I was 25. I didn't know that's what you were referencing, because I would have just told you, like, I don't have that old list. Those were things that I wrote down yesteryear.
Here's what I thought. I thought you had a book and it had a list, and then you crossed out and then added stuff to the same book.
I was just saying that my list had changed. Like, I know for sure that the list that I wrote when I was 25 is not the same list that I'm writing as I'm in my 30s.
Gotcha.
That's what I was saying. I apologize. I didn't think
No, believe me. Believe me when I tell you it was my fault. Suzette understood. I just didn't. Let me ask you this. And Suzette said this, and I was surprised. And then you said the exact same thing. And it's surprising to men because a lot of men spend a lot of time in the gym. In the manosphere, there's this saying that women want the 3 6s. And one of the 6s is a 6-pack, that women want a 6-pack. And to hear Suzette tell it, to hear you tell it, you're like, listen, we'll take a man who's attractive if we can get one, but we've kind of crossed attractiveness all out of our priority list. A man doesn't necessarily need to be attractive to us, and we'll still date or marry them, and is that kind of how you're feeling as well?
I'm not quite there yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not quite there yet, but
because I thought you said that the man didn't have to be attractive to you.
I was referencing what Suzette was saying, like
how
we cross things off our list. Like, we have to be a little bit more realistic, and I understand why certain things might be crossed off another woman's list as things got crossed off of mine. So what I more so have a question with is, why is it that it's
before you get to your question, let me just stay on this for a second. Okay. Now, you said you're not there yet, where you're crossing out. So on your list, which I didn't hear the being attractive.
Right.
Well, wait. On your list was a man being attractive. In that book, do you have the man being attractive?
I do not.
But you just said you're not there yet. So like, which one is it?
So I will say I did not write that down, because for me, that's a given. That's the first thing that takes your eye when someone approaches you or you approach somebody.
So your list, you're not writing down everything that's important in the list. All right, guys, listen. Like, what's the value of the list?
I understand you. I understand you, sis. He gonna try to nitpick that. No,
I'm just asking it. You guys are making a list and it's half done. Why would you make a list? Okay. Let me ask you this. Wait, let me ask you this. What else have you left off of that list that's important?
I don't think I've left anything off the list that isn't important. I
So
think
the
that
only thing that was left off the list that's important is the man being attractive?
Because check this out, TLA. Attractiveness is subjective. So if somebody approaches me and they're like, hey, you know, I think you're, you know, nice looking, whatever. Can I have your number? You know, I want to take you out. It might be the way that he spoke to me that attracts me to him. Not necessarily that he's ugly, but I'm just saying that there's different things that attract you to certain men.
Fair
so
enough.
It doesn't necessarily mean the face. That's why I'm just saying, like.
No, I understand what you're saying. You
Yeah.
said that you left off attractiveness because it's a given.
Yes, I did.
What else is a given that was left off of the list?
Cleanliness, hygiene.
Okay.
I hope I don't have to manifest that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, what's on the list? Read the list again.
So he needs to be God-fearing. He needs to be God-fearing, ambitious. He needs to have a good income that supports himself. He needs to be compassionate and considerate.
Okay, so why is compassionate and considerate on the list, but cleanliness is off the list? What's the difference?
I felt like that's a gift.
Being compassionate, being a man
It's
being
not.
considerate. Wait. Okay, a man being considerate to you, your husband being considerate to you is not a given.
Absolutely. I don't know.
It's some
Okay,
real
and
people
that's
out
what
here.
I'm talking about. The experiences, the negative experiences that men have with women are definitely not going to be the same that women have with men. And a lot of the men that I've interacted with, they didn't necessarily have that characteristic.
Wait, for a
They're
husband,
very-
a husband being considerate to you is not a given. Is that what you're saying?
Based on my experiences, I'm telling you that's something that I asked God to include in this person. Because I've met a lot of men who feel just because they're a man, they don't have to be compassionate or be considerate of my feelings because I'm a woman.
Have you not met men though who are also not the top of cleanliness?
I don't think that's been an issue where I need to ask God, can you send me a man that knows how to wash?
Okay. All right.
That's
I don't understand the difference.
That's I get what you're saying, but I'm just saying a lot of things are just, I think, kind of, you know, I mean, if you walk up to a woman and she has a smell, is that common? Where you're like, Lord, I hope I stop coming into contact with women who.
I mean, it happens. Listen, some of y'all women and don't act.
No, I'm not. I understand, but that's why I gave that example, that reference. Like, I've heard men say that when they interact with certain women, there's been, you know, a hygiene issue.
Gotcha. Okay, so let me ask you this. You said that attractiveness. You said you're not there yet with giving it up. When do you think you will be there? At what age do you think you will be there?
That I do not know.
What's a ballpark age?
I
When?
can't say,
Uh-huh.
I can't say that which will, or when I reach that particular age, I'm going to say that's not important to me, because I honestly feel like that should be a given. You know, that's something that's subjective on my list, but that was her choice.
We all hold on. Let me give you this. I'm not gonna say ain't no realm of attraction gotta exist. We're not gonna say ain't no kind of attraction.
I understand what
You have to have a little bit of. You gotta work with something. I'm just saying.
Right.
I'm not gonna act like I was like any and everybody. Let's just say let's not lie about that. Some degree of attraction, not just, but it's not the most important thing, and it's not the only thing. And if a person is not what you know Western culture thinks is attractive, we still can rap. But you know, there are limits to it. There are limits.
I hear you.
But, you know,
No, I'm putting it out there for the chat. Like she gonna date everybody. I'm like, not everybody, but you know.
that's not fair. But
Here comes pound for pound again. Shout out for pound again. Here comes pound for pound.
What do you say?
Oh my God. Mel be riding for some stuff. All right.
But I just have a question today. Why is it, and this is a question I think I'm going to ask, because, you know, a lot of men follow Kevin Samuels, a lot of men follow a lot of, I guess, the men in the manosphere, that's what I call it. And it seems as if you, not you, but other content creators promote the idea of, like, punishing Black women for being a certain age and not like settling. That's what it seems as if is promoted, and it baffles me because if the whole idea, because I just came across Anton Daniels' platform in a lot of his videos, and outside, it seems as if, you know, because you guys have this show, because you control marriage, you control sex, or access to sex, it seems as if that sphere promotes that men should basically allow women to feel the shame of being a certain age and feeling like they deserve, or getting what they deserve out of the question, or still in the question, sorry. So getting what they deserve or what they feel they deserve is out of the question. Like, we should just settle with whatever comes across. Like, I don't quite understand it, and I think that's kind of unclear. And if we're in this like time frame of, let's promote the Black family, and let's, try to connect. Wouldn't you guys try to promote content, or they try to promote content that more so connects us instead of like disjoints us? I don't understand. And that's just a question that I always pose to myself when I come across some type of.
That gave me a small glimmer of hope that this whole place won't end in
the
a
numerous
messy
clips that are
apocalypse.
online, I don't quite understand.
When you say punish, okay, here's kind of where I'm coming from, and this is kind of what it sounded to me. Suzette was talking about the things that she valued in a man, when she was younger, and how that list kind of there were some things taken off of the list when she got older, and that could absolutely be, a function of maturity. But as a man's point of view, as you get, when you put on there attractive,
Mm-hmm.
and then as you get older and older, you cross that off. To a man, when you cross that off, to a man, that's like, okay, you just settled. You just not a lot, but you just settled. All right, which is an intelligent thing to do, right? Because if something is your priority, you have to get it.
But we don't control it.
Hold on, I'll let you speak. Hold on. So when you cross that off, it looks like you just settled. And so men are like, look at Suzette. She's crossing off something that is, it's important. Why aren't you other women doing it? Now, to me, it's not surprising that you say you're not going to settle, because you say you're 32, right? So it's like, okay, right? But maybe and that's why I asked you, when are you going to feel different when you start crossing some things off, right? The list starts to get shorter and shorter and shorter. To us, that's not punishment. To us, that looks like something that's reality, right? Men have to settle too. Like, settling is something that humans do. Settlement is something that animals do. Maybe you can't eat lobster every day. Maybe you got to go to, to the damn Chili's or the Cheesecake Factory. Maybe you can't go to Bones every day. Maybe you can't go to Fogo every day. Maybe you can't go to Chops every day. Just get yourself a nice meal. There's nothing wrong with a nice meal. Women are like, no. We're not going to settle. But then when they reach 35, 38, 42, now it's a little different. So men aren't punishing. Men are just like, hey, some women get it. Why don't all women get it? That's all men are. I think
you're pointing out the reasonable parts and leaving out the unreasonable parts. But I get your argument. Like,
I don't think the argument. It's just a perspective. At least that's how I see it. Let me walk that back. I don't want to speak for all men, but that's certainly how I see it, and I know that's how a lot of men see it too. No one's trying to punish you guys, but at the same time, we're kind of like, hey man,
So question. I'm taking up a lot of time. This is my last question.
No, you're fine.
I came across a clip where Kevin Samuels was talking about, or it was a very short clip, so if I take it out of context, I apologize. But he was basically telling a woman that her degree didn't matter. He was telling her that the accomplishments that basically she got, or that she wanted to pursue, she should forego that and focus on the marriage, the husband, and the children. And I thought that was a little unfair because one, and before I find my husband, I need to be able to meet my husband where he is, regardless of wherever I decide that should be. But I need to be able to, because if something happens to him, who else is supposed to support the household? So if I go out to make myself as versatile as possible in the job market to be able to add to him, what's the problem with that? And also still pursue finding love or, you know, finding a husband.
The problem is that last part that you said, you said you want to add to him, right? And I think that's good. You should certainly add to your man. But you have to understand that your man doesn't need you to add to him in all ways. Your man needs you to add to him in certain ways. You getting a psychology degree is not a way that a man needs you to add to him. You getting a master's in early childhood development is not an addition to him, right? And to be honest, maybe you even getting a law degree isn't an addition to him, because whatever you make, you're going to generally want him to make more than you anyway. So you want your income to be supplemental, but to a very small degree. And that's what Kevin Samuels has been able to get out, elicit from so many women. When women are asked, how much do you want to contribute to the household before it falls to shit? What do most women say? 0. Well, if it's 0, how are you helping him out with your degree? You know, your psychology degree, where is it when you want to contribute 0? So when you say, oh, we're getting this degree to help you out, but then you don't want to help out, well, now I see a contradiction. Do you see where I'm coming from?
I understand that, but that's where I feel like we're painting all women with one stroke of a brush. I don't want to contribute 0 to my household. I don't want to be a breadwinner either. But I do want to make myself as diverse as I need to be to fit my husband's needs. And if I do have to go out and make money, why not do it in a way that makes me happy? Not just any way I can, because I did not prepare myself to have to go out into the workforce because I left that on my husband. Does that make sense? So even though I might not open, a practice, or I might not, join a law firm or whatever the case might be, I still have these skills that will make me more marketable in the job market. If I have to go up there, I don't have to go to Walmart and get a job because I don't have any of the accomplishments on my resume. So I understand that, if we want the things that we want as far as men being providers and all of that, we do have to take a back seat. But that doesn't mean that I can't want the best for myself. And I can't teach my kids to want the best for themselves.
You want the best for yourself and want the best for your kids, and not try to get a PhD in psychology. You can be both. Why are you making it just like an either or thing?
I'm not.
All I'm saying is, if getting a PhD makes you happy, get your PhD in psychology or whatever you get it in. Do not take the step further and expect that a man will give it the credit that you want him to get it. That's all I'm saying. Get it for you and your kids if you want. But don't come over here and tell me how I need to value it. I'm gonna value it the way that I want to value it. You get it if you want to get it. No one's punishing for you. No one's punishing you to get it. But you're saying, it sounds like, why isn't it valued the way that I want it valued? That's not that.
I'm not necessarily in that way. I'm more so saying that it's being portrayed as if it's being spoken about as if women can bring nothing to the family dynamic. Like
no one's saying that women. Wait, that's too broad.
I'm just saying that's the perspective that I get when I see these clips. That's why
women bring nothing.
No, well, little to nothing. Like that. That's what I'm getting from it. Like even if I go out and get nothing, That's
There
what
you go with the degree.
Education wise, I think is what she
Yeah,
means.
thank you. Like let's
sorry.
no, you're fine.
Yes,
You're fine.
yes.
You're fine.
Thank you, Suzette.
Mhm.
So what I'm saying is, if I go out and I seek, higher education, and I do that with the idea that in some way I'm going to be able to use this skill, whether it's in the home, outside the home, I'm going to be able to use my education to make my family more well-rounded. Why is that looked at as not valuable? Like, if you can use your degree, I guarantee you there's a lot of skills that you receive as an attorney that you didn't necessarily learn in a book. CLA. You understand
Let me
what I'm
ask you this. Do you think a man has the right to judge the value that you place on getting a PhD for yourself?
Absolutely. In his life, absolutely. How can this benefit me, or does it benefit me? Absolutely.
Okay.
I do believe that.
Well, that's what he's doing. So what's the problem?
My problem is, why is it being taught that it's not valuable? Why is it being
It's
taught
not. No.
that if a woman goes to achieve any type of level of higher education, that it's not valuable? You have the right in your life to say, if she gets her PhD, maybe she right to go to
What they're saying, listen, they're not saying that it's not valuable. You're leaving out two words. That's the issue. That's where you're not connecting it. You're saying, why are men saying that it's not valuable? You're leaving out two words, very important words. The words that you're leaving out is to them. Men are saying, if you getting your PhD in psychology is not valuable to them. All right? If you want to get it yourself, get it yourself. If you think it'll help you and your kids, get it. Fine. What some men are telling you is that a psychology degree is not valuable to them. Now, if your number one priority is to get a husband, if your number one priority is to have children, should you invest all of those years in getting a PhD in psychology, or should you do something that more aligns with your stated objective? That's all men are saying. Make it line up. Don't say that your stated objective is to get a husband and then spend 8 years getting something that will not help you get that husband. Make it aligned, make it consistent. That's all men are saying. That's all we're saying.
Understood.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I think your point is very valid, Taylor. I'm just going to go back to what it's like. We have some dissonance in terms of what we are taught in Black families versus what Black men actually want. I think this whole push for education and making sure that women have something to quote fall back on, I think it's been very important. I mean, my dad lost his job. Thank God my mom had him holding him down as a nurse. So
I'm
it
so
helped.
glad you're saying that. I'm so
Yeah.
glad you're saying that the family is teaching us one thing, but the manosphere really is
Is saying
coming
something
in.
else. Yeah.
The
Yeah, it's two
manosphere,
things.
listen, this is so important, guys. Let me shout out to the Blooming Ebony, excellent content creator herself. What is what is that saying? Listen, the family is teaching us one thing, but the men today in 2021,
They ain't
the
for that.
manosphere, they are telling you. They are telling you. And Suzette came on last time, and what did she talk about? Man, I had some misconceptions coming up in my family, and now I see things differently. What are you saying? What the Jamaican that came up? Oh, we were taught this and what we were taught that. The manosphere now is telling you the truth. Women shit on the manosphere when the manosphere is telling you what the hell the deal is with men right now. They're not echoing the misconceptions that you guys were given when you were younger. They're telling you in real time, this is what's going on, right? So receive it that way. It's going to sound harsh because you're like, wow, I didn't grow up this way. This is not the truth that I was taught when I was 6 and 8 and 12. Why are these men that I don't know saying it? Why are they saying this stuff in this way? It doesn't sound so flowery, right? It doesn't sound so nice. Oh, these people in the manosphere are terrible. They're telling you the truth. There's some people in the manosphere that are on some bullshit. All right, that's anywhere.
I was about to say.
That's anywhere, right? I mean, people like it. People in the
everywhere.
black pill. I mean, you can find some crazy people in the manosphere, but in general, not the black pill. Don't look at the black pill stuff. in general, that what people in the manosphere, what men in the manosphere are telling you is how we feel, not the way you want us to feel, and not the way that you were taught that we should feel. We're telling you in real time how we feel.
Yeah.
And
it's shocking to a lot of people, though. I'm telling you, it's shocking to women.
Agreed.
It's shocking when if people hear, like, again, those of us who have not been living, breathing, consuming manosphere stuff, when you first hear it, you like, what? Like, you find it to be chauvinistic. You may find it to be just something contrary to everything like you've ever known. So for me, I have people now that tell me easily, Sue, if you were a teacher, you'd be married already.
Exactly. Listen, shout out to Perry Unlikely. Perry Unlikely put some real money in my pocket, guys. Shout out to Perry Unlikely. He is an excellent content creator. He knows about crypto. And he was telling me all the way. Shout out to Solo T24. What is his name? Solo TV84. That man put some money in your boy's pocket. He told me about that damn Shib Inu or whatever. He didn't tell me he made a video about it, but I got some of that. And thank you. And so Perry was kind of helping me out with this stuff. Even yesterday, he was giving me information. Y'all, please go check out Perry Unlikely. Excellent brother. What does he say? I married a PhD. It has never conflicted the fact that my home is traditional, not modern. The issue is when they think the PhD will make them better than the man. And so I think this is kind of important too, kind of to spin it a little bit. It's not that the PhD, it's not that we're saying like, if you get a PhD, we can't marry you, right? What we're saying is we don't see it as a value necessarily to what we are trying to do. And so if you spend 8 years going down this road, and once you get this piece of paper and you're like, I got the PhD, where are all the men now that I've got the PhD?
They're not on that.
Exactly.
Ball it up and put it on your bed.
Exactly, right. So that's all the men are saying. So I'm glad that we were able to clear that up, Gorgeous, because I think that you, but not only you, hundreds of thousands of women are operating under this idea, or like, why is Kevin Samuel saying this? Why are the people in the Red Pill community, the people in the manosphere saying this? Go get it if you want it. Just realize the value that we ascribe to it. All right, that's all we're saying. And there are opportunity costs when you go to get it. Right. When you spend 8 years in school in that liberal institution, the institution where they're going to tell you to use all these different pronouns and this and that, they might tell you how to think about men, and you might come out of those 8 years not feeling so great about men, and you got your PhD. Where are you going to be when it's time to have that strong male father figure / husband, father figure to your children and right. to his children as well? And the husband, where is it going to be? You can look up, and now you're crossing shit off your goddamn list, right? And what Kevin Sam is saying, keep your stuff on the list. Keep it on the list. Just, start a little bit early. You don't have to cross some stuff out. If you had not spent 8 years getting your PhD in psychology, you wouldn't have to cross all this stuff out, right? You see where I'm coming from, Gorgeous?
I do. And I completely understand. I just don't think that men are more so seeing the other side of it. Like, I'm pretty sure that, being accomplished puts you in different circles, and then that also allows you to interact.
Gorgeous, you're fighting it. You're fighting it.
I'm not fighting.
You're saying, Gordon, Gorgeous, you're saying that men don't see the other side of it.
No. I'm not talking about what
you just said that, Gorgeous.
No, I get it, but
Gorgeous, I just repeated your words, and now you're saying no.
Let me reword it, please.
Okay. All right.
What I was saying was, when women go and get higher education, I understand now what you're saying. Okay. That's not necessarily useful in the home as far as the man can see, as far as how it will help our family. But I do want men to understand that that's what puts us in those particular circles that would allow us to look for a well-earning man. Does that make sense?
No. You getting your PhD in psychology will not necessarily put you around men. Listen, there are not going to be tons and tons of men in your psychology PhD program. They're not.
So we're
You know
talking
that
about a PhD program.
exactly.
Meaning,
Well, what's it in? That's the
No, no,
thing.
no. I'm talking about, let's go a little bit lower with more commonly, gotten degrees, I
an
guess.
MBA, maybe.
Well, that's what Kevin Samuels said. If you want to get a man in college, get a man in college. That's what Kevin Samuels has been saying since day one. Right? If you want to be in a place where you have all of this opportunity to get a man, I went to UGA. I went to Georgia. 35,000 students.
But we're not taught that, TLA.
Right.
That Black women are not taught that, TLA.
Thank God for the manosphere.
Well, and we gotta really do something about it, because when there are opportunities even in med school, my friends used to go to med school mixers. The white girls and the Hispanic girls, they all up in the Black men's faces. And we have our, the corner where we all hung out together, danced, had a good time. But they weren't on that. They were like, oh, look at those thirsty girls. But indirectly, the thirsty girls, so-called, not saying they were, but the go-getters got them dudes. And then my friends are still single.
Oh,
So
wait. The go-getters got the dudes.
Yes.
Not the go-getters, not the manifestations, not the let's wait back. Wait. The go-getters, y'all heard her. Y'all heard the go-getters get the husbands.
Yes,
y'all heard her.
We're on to something here, TLA, because most of the time, get that ear up, baby. Get that ear up. This is what I'm saying. We are not taught that. I'm telling you, from when I saw it, I was not aware that the go-getters got it that time. I did not think of that as a good thing. I'm telling you, what I was conditioned to think, that was terrible. That was a woman being fast or a woman being aggressive. That was not looked upon in a good way. So now you got this whole, but somebody teaches something because they got them. Some not in our households. Our households is telling us to be Christian and be good and wait till marriage and all of this, or at least the 90 days, Steve Harvey. But they're not teaching that. They're teaching like sit back and watch and he will come to you. God has a man that's made for you. And he did here with his good ear, Gail. Thank you. But yes, I agree with you. This more aggressive woman, I feel like has won. But I'm so shocked that I've been taught the opposite almost my entire life. So this is great. Somebody might get saved here. Like, hallelujah. But the problem is we're not taught this, TL. I'm telling you, it sounds like, duh, this is factual. This is logic. This is, duh. I'm like, if you understand the type of conditioning that is happening for young Black women, it's clearly not across the board with the 62% like you keep calling out. It's not being taught. The manosphere might be calling it out, but we're not taught this.
Your point is well taken, and we can absolutely get into this. And this is something that's really not discussed so much, I don't think, in the man. Of course, it's not discussed so much in the manosphere from the female perspective, right? So you guys are absolutely, shining that light on it too. All right, listen, thank you so much for coming up, Gorgeous. Really appreciate it. Thank you for being so open.
Thanks,
You're great. All right.
Thank you, TLA. I love you, Suzette. I'll be watching your stream.
All right. Thank you, guys.
You.
All right, that was interesting. Let's get some toxic masculinity up in here. All right. What does our man Kevin Miller say? Thank you so much, Kevin Miller. Says the amount of time it takes you to get your PhD detracts from her attractiveness because as a woman goes up in age, she goes down in looks to a large majority of men. Even as beautiful as Suzette is, she can't compete with her 25-year-old self. This is true. I can't compete with my 25-year-old self, guys. 25-year-old,
everybody
damn
can't
killer.
Compete with their 25-year-old.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So Kevin Miller is right on point. Right on point with this. All right, we got our man, and thank you so much, Kevin Miller, for this generous super chat. All you guys, listen, I've been up here working, right? I'm trying to listen with my good ear and read the job, so I haven't been able to get all the super chats, but I'm gonna go back and get them. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Kevin Miller. Thank you, everybody, for supporting the stream so much. What do you think about this, Fawcett? We got Fawcett Media in the house. Kind of, what's your opinion? You've been kind of sitting back, listening to this. What's your take on it?
What's up? What's happening, TLA? How you doing, Suzette? Nice to finally meet you. Yeah, it's not gonna get that toxic up here, but if you wanted to,
it's a joke.
If you wanted to, no. But TLA, I gotta say, man, you taking it easy on her, man. You see why April Mason quit matchmaking? You seeing all this going on? She over there laughing at the go-getters. and calling them pick-me's, right?
Back in the day, though. Back in the day.
Back
Not
in the
now,
day,
but
but
back
that
in the
was
day, yeah.
prime time for you to find what you're looking for.
I can't go back
currently.
and relive it. I just gotta
And
go
that's
where I
the
am
point.
now.
Absolutely.
That's the point. That's kind of, you know, where we're at now. To tell a woman to go back to college, we're not
If I
doing
knew,
that.
No.
if I knew what I knew now.
Right. Don't go back to college now, but you got to make some changes here. And so I would say right now, Suzette, what is your how important is it to you to find this man right now? And what type of urgency are you using to find this man? Like, are you just laying back, like you said, and still waiting for him to come to you? Because he's not going to come
No,
to
I'm
you.
on the ambulance, running around trying to find the dead bodies. No, I'm just kidding.
You on the
Shout out to all
ambulance?
the lawyers.
No,
Shout out to all the
no,
lawyers.
TLA asked me this last stream. So if you didn't watch last stream, that's why I was on.
No, I've watched all the streams. I've watched
Oh, you
all the
did?
streams.
Okay, yeah, no, I have to get on the dating sites per TLA, even though I'm still trepidatious about it because of so many good yet also bad stories I hear from them.
Right.
But yeah, I'm dating and I'm out here. I'm trying to present myself, you know, made a channel, even all that good stuff. But yeah, I'm out here. I haven't gotten a matchmaker. That has not been the case yet. So I know that might be another next step ish. But yeah, you're saying get out there, keep it moving, and be in pursuit, going to the gym. Hey, what's up? Since the gym is better than a PhD.
Yeah, that was deep. That was deep right
I
there.
was like, oh, they gonna be mad with you. I don't know who said it, but yeah, gym is better than a PhD. Ouch. Yeah.
I know that hurt women.
I have
bad,
another question
boy.
for you. I know
Sure.
you won't tell us your height and you won't tell us your age, but can you give us? Are you a taller woman or are you? Okay,
I'm under 5'7".
Okay, you're under 5'7". Perfect. All right, and you won't give us your age, so can you give us an age?
Fawcett,
range?
wait.
Kevin
Fawcett.
Samuels in his thing. What's up?
Wait,
What's
Fawcett, let me ask you, because
In
this has
this
kind of been like a back and
moment.
forth type of thing. Do you prefer taller women or shorter women? Kind of what's your deal? Because
Me
a lot
personally?
of dudes are like, man, the shorter women are winning. And you get a 5'2", 5'3", 5'4", they winning. Like what's your deal?
I actually love a volleyball player, so yeah,
Oh, you like a
I
tall
can like
girl?
tall women. Yeah.
Okay, no, I'm not that tall. I'm
Tall
more
women
thick.
with those big ass
thick,
feet,
thick.
you're cool with that?
Don't say that,
Jesus.
TLA.
Sometimes they have
Jesus.
pretty feet too, TLA. Since you're a feet man, you're all concerned about Brie Larson's feet.
So no, I gotta look at them. Y'all want me to? Someone said
they
Luke
are
Paisley
horrible.
said, "Don't even look at them."
It's like a toe hanging over the front of the shoe. Like it's nasty. She got 4 toes in one line. It's disgusting.
Shout out to Trash
Are you
Can
tall?
Waves.
Are you tall, sir?
Yes, I'm 6'2". I'm 6'2".
Okay, so you're
Well, I
probably-
mean, that's not tall for
Yeah,
men.
it's pretty tall. You need a slim. I can see
Right.
that. Yeah.
Right. But
How tall
yeah,
is your volleyball player?
my volleyball. I mean, I like a woman 5'9" to 5'10".
Jesus
You know what I'm
Christ.
saying?
That's
And then
tall.
she put on
I mean,
heels,
that's not
6'1".
my only preference. I will actually take a 5'2". You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like my
5'2"
ex-girlfriend was
is-
5'2".
That's what's up. 5'2", 5'3".
Yeah, you can't go too much further than that though, because I know some people that go further.
No,
than
I've
that.
seen some 5 foot even girls that are killers.
Really? Nah.
Yeah.
Okay,
man.
okay.
5 foot even.
Okay,
That's
Here
okay.
comes the
too
toxic
small.
masculinity, right?
Here comes the
Suzette's
toxic
stuck in the middle.
Oh yeah.
Moving on to the
No.
point. Moving on to the point. Okay.
Okay. What type of lawyer are you, Suzette?
Personal
Are-
injury.
Personal injury. So are you not a trial attorney?
I don't go to trial mostly. Most things settle. Most
Okay.
of my
So
cases.
is that why TLA has been dog walking you for these last 2 episodes?
No.
Like,
Go
as far as
If you
Go on,
feel
go
that
on.
way, I respect your opinion. But again, I don't lean into when I come in forums like this. I'm not leaning into an attorney presenting her case at court. That's not what I'm leaning into. Maybe you'll get a little bit of that on my stream next Wednesday. So
I
you're
know, guys. Y'all check us out.
You
I
got no
want y'all
game,
to
but you was
understand.
scared of Kevin Samuels though.
No,
you was
but listen,
shook. You was
I
sweating.
did not want to talk
Your
this
face was-
subject matter. The fact that I'm even here talking about this is not my expertise.
Nah, I feel
would
you.
never
Absolutely.
do
I
this.
thank you
And
for
this
coming.
Is like
I thank you for coming
crazy
again.
to
This
me
is
that
great.
this is even happening. It's surreal.
This is great.
So
I mean,
if it was
this is
something
great.
else, I would have absolutely said yes. But this is his.
You're gonna
this
benefit
man's
from it.
domain and Mr. Samuel's domain. Y'all
You're
ain't
gonna
gonna have me
benefit
on a
from it.
skewer. Oh no, y'all
Yeah.
finna skewer me.
But
don't love that.
one more point. To the last caller's point, it's like the great Patrice O'Neal said. Getting a good career doesn't make you more attractive. Getting a education doesn't make you more attractive. Basically, if I see a woman in a trash can, I'm like, baby, why are you in that trash can? Why don't you get out of there? Why don't you come to the why don't you come over the crib? know, we can hook up with you.
Yeah, that
You know what I'm
was
saying?
so
Like,
much
it's
better
not-
the way Patrice told.
Well, exactly. Patrice said it
If you're
better.
following, if you're not following, I'm trying to stay with
Oh,
you.
but shout out to Fawcett. Shout out to Fawcett.
No, for sure.
That,
For
that
sure.
needed a setup, to be honest.
It definitely did, but
All right,
I mean, hey,
we
you
get
know
what
what
you're
I'm saying?
saying.
Trash cans beating a degree in women?
That's what I'm saying, but it's equal parity. You don't see that. I mean, attractiveness doesn't increase with that degree necessarily.
Stop. Y'all should close all the schools then. What are we
No,
doing?
we got you, we got you.
Of people in colleges now are women. This is crazy. And y'all
Right.
saying it doesn't make us any more attracted to you. It's crazy.
I mean, I enjoy intellect, but I'm just saying, on a whole, if you're trying to get something like in this dating market, it doesn't put you in a higher position than, say, this girl on Instagram that, you know, went and got a BBL and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know
Like,
about
think
the
about it
BBL.
that
I
way.
was
And
with
you
you
in the
until the
capital BBL.
I was with you
Lord.
until you hit the BBL thing.
So
You're
I
exactly
mean-
right.
So it's
An
all about the
Instagram thing.
physical. Stop working your brain.
No. Here's the
Get your
thing. Here's the
butt
thing.
done.
Here- This is
You
not
see
true.
We're not
This is
going to
not
deny
true.
that there is some portion
This is
of
not
physical.
true, but you don't necessarily need a PhD just to be reasonable. You know, I can get a woman who went to community college. She's got, 10 years of good experience, life experience, after the community college. And for me, she's super into me. She's super interested in me. She's super interested in my well-being. She knows I want her to cook a special meal. She does a special meal. She does it because she's into me. Like that weighs so much more than a goddamn PhD.
But I could have
Right.
a JD and do that though. TLA, is that
You-
mutually exclusive?
No, here's the thing. You can have a JD and do that, but do not come to me and want more credit because you got the JD,
No,
as
I don't.
opposed to a woman who went to the community college. And
Let me
that's
say-
what you women do. That's
Right.
the error. I'm glad you said the JD so I could point it out.
So
Do
we want
not
more
say-
credit. What does that mean? We want more credit?
You want to wave around the fact that you got your damn JD. It's not a college degree. It's not a associate's degree. You want to wave it around. You want to trumpet it around as an achievement.
It is.
Yes, but don't expect me to give it more credit than someone who has a degree from a community college that treats me like a king. That's where you mess up.
Do
Are you
want your
seeing
kids
it?
to have- I'm hearing you. I respect what you just said. And
That's the point. It's so simple to do. So we women can't get it.
But even if we go back to like the psychology degree and things like this, like how you raise your kids and the mindset that you're raising your kids, is that important to you?
The mindset that you raise, yes.
Yeah,
raising
that the
kids
woman
is
who will be helping
important.
you raise your kids, her mindset is not important to you?
She doesn't have to
Absolutely,
be a
it is.
psychologist to do that, though.
Are
You
you
want-
talking
you
about a
want
JD?
basic-
There are so many great mothers that don't have JDs. What
No,
the
I'm
hell
not
are
saying
you? What are you
can't. No,
talking
no,
about?
I'm not saying you can't be a good mother. I'm
So
asking
what are
you
you
what you
saying?
value. I'm asking you what you value. I didn't say that. they-
Everyone values having their kids being raised by a mother who's good.
But
You don't
I'm not
need
saying
advanced.
not only good. I'm asking about education. You're saying no.
You don't need a high education to value an education. There are so many black people that have sacrificed, said, listen, baby, I didn't go to college, but I want you to go to college. I didn't go to college, but I'm gonna work 2 jobs. I didn't go to college, but I'm gonna work 3 jobs. And I'm gonna work these 3 jobs so that you can go.
No, I understand that, Lee. That's not new. I understand that.
So what are you saying?
No, I'm asking you what you're valuing. I'm not saying that I'm taking a
Guys, are
position
y'all-
on you or
Hey,
less.
Suzette.
Shout out,
Yes.
Shout out to Bad News. 1, 2, 4, 3,
Thanks,
1 says great show. Seems like we may be making
Like I said.
progress. We try, but then it's 2 steps forward, then a couple steps back, right? Shout out to Bad News. 1, 2,
What you were gonna
4,
say,
3,
Mom?
1. Always supporting the chat. Shout out to my man, Damien. What is that? Here we go. I'm risking it, guys, pulling these things up. David says,
I was just
it's
about
not
to ask
the-
this question.
Hold on, brother. Please don't talk over me while I'm doing the super chats. It's not the same for men. Usually a man's status increases with wealth. And usually a man's status increases and wealth increases with time. Men and women use different metrics for attraction. This is absolutely true. Shout out to Kevin Miller again. What does Kevin say? TLA, I respectfully have to disagree. As a man ages, as long as his money goes up with him, he becomes more attractive to women. It doesn't work the other way. Are you disagreeing with me? Did I say something that I missed that? I missed that. But as a man goes up, as a man, I mean, listen, this is not true. This is just not true. You know, it can't. Did y'all see Anna Nicole Smith? Did y'all see the corpse that Anna Nicole Smith married? Do not tell me, Kevin. And this man, money, he had millions on top of millions on top of millions. All right, there's a limit. There's an absolute limit. And if you think women are good, women might be with you, but do not say that they find you more attractive. Now, maybe it could be because Suzette's already crossed off attractiveness on her list, right?
I don't make
I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing. But yeah, I mean, what you're saying, you know, if you're 30s and 40s, you're right. But once you hit 50, you know, you start to crest a little bit, to be honest. And then when you're 60s, you know, I hear what you're saying, but yeah, you know, generally I see where you're coming from. The Truck Guru says a PhD is in case of emergency. You being the first teacher of our kids is most important. Absolutely. And that's where I didn't understand what, you know, but okay. And our man, another one. Another and he's a youngster too, man. He's 27 years old. Shout out to our man Jonathan Barronville. He was fighting these fights yesterday. I was on a live stream. I saw him up there on a panel. Some woman coming at him all crazy. And he's like, wait, just slow it down. Let's think about this logically. You know, let's try to take some emotion out of it so we can get to where we need to go. If you're talking emotionally and I'm talking, you know, how are we going to relate to one another if I'm trying to use logic and you're in your emotions, right? If we really need a plan, if we really need some solutions, let's try to focus, right? And shout out to Jonathan Barronville laying the law down. What does he say? It's not that your degree and career aren't valuable. They just don't make you any more attractive or valuable to us. Necessarily, you women do not want to understand that. We will keep saying it until you get it. Thank the Lord for the manosphere so that you can receive it in a way. You have some availability to this knowledge because, like you said, Suzette, you were not taught this growing up. Women were not taught
raised
this.
wrong. Apparently raised wrong.
No, it's not wrong. It's just, you know, it's what we have now in 2021, right? It's what we have now. I picked the sweet and friendly cashier at Target with her GED any day before I even look at my colleague with her PhD in computer science who's super masculine. And unfortunately, he's right. I mean, you will have a better chance. Now, neither one of these is like the best pick, right? You know, if she got a PhD, if she's got a GED working at Target and she's 26, you know, she's probably got some issues going on. But his point is well taken, is that at least, you know, she be focused on him and not someone who's super masculine who's going to try to run the whole damn thing. So Jonathan Barronville he's absolutely right. And it's something that you women are just fighting against. Yes, your PhD has value. You should be proud of it. It just doesn't really help you out in our eyes. It's not a high preference for us. Even a step further, it could push you away from us for numerous reasons, one of which is that it took you 8 years to get, and you are isolated from us in those ivory towers, and you come out, you know, you're 36, 38, and now you're like, we're all the guys, all right? And so it can put you behind the 8 ball, right? When it really didn't increase your value so much to us. It increased your value as a person. It increased your value as a you know, as a lady, as a woman. But to us, that's all we're saying. That's all we're saying, right? Necessarily. Listen, if I have a woman,
get a job at Turkish Chicken, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get a
listen, and let me be honest too.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get a Popeyes job.
Just to help you out, listen, if I'm dating a woman and she's, you know, let's say she's an investment banker. If she's an investment banker, shout out to all the investment bankers, you know, she's good with numbers. Let me tell you something. I'm not good with numbers. All right. I'm an attorney. Suzette knows most attorneys, we're just not good with numbers. All right. She could help out. That could be a huge help. You know, she has her MBA and, you know, she's working at a big bank. She has a lot of knowledge that I don't have. So that, you know, I might even count that as a check. I'm going to give you a little check for that, but that's a little check. There are big checks. right? And you don't that you being an investment banker is not a big check. You being an attorney is not a big check in my eyes for a relationship, for a marriage. That's all we're saying. All right. Shout out to the Jonathan Barronville for such a huge, super chat. And the comment really is just so on point. And he's walking the walk because I saw him yesterday. He was cammed up. Jonathan Barronville was cammed up and was letting a woman know about it. Say, hey, man, calling her out when she got emotional. So Jonathan Barronville is a man that talks the talk, but he absolutely walks the walk as well. So okay, did you want to just close it out, Fawcett? Did you want to say anything before I rotate the panel?
Absolutely. Hey, you can subscribe to my channel, Fawcett Media, covering entertainment, doing some of this relationship stuff right now, kind of pivoting, brands and stuff. But, yeah, I just leave you with this. I don't normally talk about it, but what do men get for our degrees? I mean, I've got a master's degree, and I don't even talk about it because it doesn't mean anything.
Hold on, wait. Say, don't do it, Kevin. What's Kevin about to do? Shout out to Kevin Samuel. Shout out to the Godfather. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you. What were you saying about that?
Shout out to the Godfather. Yeah. I was just saying, like, what does our degree mean in the course of the dating market? I mean, what is that?
You're asking me?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's really for anybody.
Yeah. So are you saying because you don't work in your field, it's not valuable?
No, in contrast to what the young lady was saying before about how, it doesn't. I'm bettering myself,
2K20. So you're saying, Kevin said,
what does Kevin Samuel say? Women who really want to win know to drop the sign language and listen to men as they say they're what they desire. And he's so true. And that's kind of where I thought the first, Gorgeous Jess, she was listening for a second. She was like, oh, I was talking to her. Did you guys see her? She was listening. And I was like, okay, we make a voice. And I was like, dude, so I spoke for like 5 minutes and she was soaking it up. She was soaking it up. And I was like, all right, Gorgeous Jess, do you see what I'm saying? And she was like, yeah, but still, if we got a degree, I was like, oh my God, we were so close. We were so close. Shout out to Gorgeous Jazz, right? So, Kevin Samuels is exactly right. If you women could just take a step back and listen. And Suzette is absolutely right when she says, we have been taught something different. So we can't just toss it out of our minds at the drop of a hat because we've grown up this way. This has been inculcated into us. And she's absolutely right. Thank the Lord for Kevin Samuels and the Manosphere who are letting women know you don't have to labor under this misconception. Because the longer you have these misconceptions, the longer your perception is separated from the truth, the harder it's going to be for you, the more frustration that you're going to have and not reaching what you say is your number one priority, right? So this is what Kevin Samuels is saying. Sorry, but yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. I want to ask the gentleman a question. So if a woman has degrees, because this is my thing, and I haven't been reading the chat, so I don't know what the ladies are asking. What about those of us who already have these degrees? This is my big question. So yes, you're saying for younger women, in your opinions, that is not going to be valuable to you. This is not how men in 2021 are looking at women in terms of value. So if you already have your MBA, your JD, your masters of whatever, are you guys completely excluding these women from your dating pool because there are now younger women who have a 4-year degree or less, and that's it for you? Or what do you do, or what recommendations would you have just from a man's perspective, just trying to see where you guys are at, for anyone who does have these type of degrees already?
I would just say it's an added bonus. It's something that you can add to your list of qualifications. But in the grand scheme of things, it's not going to be a determining factor. And that's what I'm saying. I think you all are weighting it too heavily, that maybe it should put you above some other women. But I'm telling you right now, you mentioned Miami as a market. You're dealing with the heavyweights. Yeah. Like, you're dealing with some straight up women who their whole life is beautifying themselves. So you have to understand that might be part of the reason you're having an issue. But I'm going to say it's that way in every city. I'm gonna just tell you, I
It's
live
not.
in LA right
It's
now.
not. In Atlanta, boy, you know, there's so many black women here. Like the black. Well,
What?
when you say it's that way
No,
in
no,
every city,
no.
what do
I'm
you
just
mean?
talking about what
Looking at
she was saying.
physical
She was
attraction
saying,
and beauty
yeah, she
outweighs
was saying it was difficult.
education.
She
Okay,
had
gotcha.
to keep kissing frogs in Miami. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, she didn't like when I brought that. Oh no. All right, guys, here's what we're gonna do. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Fawcett. I'm gonna give. I don't know if Kevin Samuels
you,
wants to hit the link.
Okay.
I will. If he does, I will drop you down, Suzette, and then you can
No,
come back
I'll
up
listen.
later.
I'll sit up here and listen. Yes, praise God. I will sit up here and listen.
Okay,
Whatever
I'm gonna.
you feel is most appropriate.
Okay, I gotta make some room for if. Well, somebody let me know if Kevin Samuels wants to come up. If the Godfather wants to come up and speak on this, please. A lot of people want to know how he feels. If he does want to come up, I will make some some room in the back because of course we're filled up here. And so yeah, if he wants to come up and give us some knowledge, he absolutely can come through. We would love to see it. Let's do this. Let me I know I've missed some of the super chats. What does Charles say? Charles says, if I own a marijuana dispensary and your degree is in botany, then your degree is useful to me. And see, this is, I think, how guys see it. Wow. Guys are like, you know, if you really want to help, then help, right? But don't think that we are going to give you extra points just because you have the degree. You know, if you have a PhD in psychology, I don't know how that's going to help. Is that an achievement? Yes, but please don't expect me to value it so much, right? While we are waiting to see if our man Kevin Samuels wants to come up, we had a woman, we had a man, so let's bring up another woman. Let's bring up some reinforcements. We got Chantel. Chantel in the house. How are you doing, Chantel? Did someone see if Kevin Samuels said he wants to come up?
Hi, Lead. Hi, Suzette.
How are you doing, Chantel?
Hey,
can you hear me? Chantel?
I'm doing well. I think there's a delay in my mic. Is there?
I don't know. We'll talk for a second. If there's a delay, we're not gonna be able to work with it, to be honest. It's a long delay. But kind of let's just see. Tell how do you feel about what you've heard thus far? Yeah, this is not gonna work, Chantel. I'm so sorry. But thank you for coming up. I appreciate it. Hopefully, if you come back, I'll try to pull you up because your delay is just way too long. All right, and I think that's all the women that we have on the chat. To be honest, I was trying to get you somebody good, right? Let's get a young buck. Let's get our man. Devil's Bane. We got Devil's Bane in the house. Long time no see. Devil's Bane, how are you doing?
Doing well. How you guys doing?
Doing great.
Nice doing good.
All right, we got JP here. JP says, here's the deal. I survived the streets, 20 months in jail, an honorable tour as a paratrooper in the 82nd Airborne Division, BA Econ, MS analyst. I still got to have game to get the ladies. Accomplishments are not a substitute. Yeah, and I think someone, okay, wait. Someone's saying that Kevin Samuels wants the link. All right, let me drop the link. I'm gonna drop the link. I gotta clear the back, guys, because you know when the Godfather wants to come up, we gotta clear the back. So give me a second. No one hit the link except for Kevin Samuels. Oh damn! You had two things up, Devil's Bane. You had two things up. I clicked your one thing and. The other thing also disappeared. So let me just make some room for our man, the Kevin Samuels. Please detox. Please don't come up. This link is just for Kevin Samuels and making some room. All right. I think we got enough. Give me 1 second here. All right, what does JP say? Oh, we already talked about that. What do you think about JP's comment that men can have so much and it's not valued by the women? Okay, all right. let me stop that. Don't answer that question. And shout out to JP. Thank you so much. And you're exactly right. So we have Rob is exactly right. We got Kevin Samuels in the house. He is about to cook. You know, this is not an ambush. Would you like to stay up here?
I will listen, and if I have one or two questions, I may ask, but I will listen.
Fantastic. And listen, let me just say again, you know, we're talking to someone who has an immense amount of knowledge, so it would be a waste. You know, a lot of people wait hours to talk to him, and they never get the chance. So I know, Suzette, I know, but you know, you are kind of in the cohort of women that he talks to. What does he say? It's not that your degree and career aren't valuable. They just don't make you any more attractive or valuable to us. Necessarily, you women do not want to understand that. We will keep saying it until you get it. Thank the Lord for the manosphere so that you can receive it in a way. You have some availability to this knowledge, because like you said, Suzette, you were not taught this growing up. Women were not taught this.
Apparently raised wrong.
No, it's not wrong. It's just, you know, it's what we have now in 2021. Right? It's what we have now. I picked the sweet and friendly cashier at Target with her GED any day. Before boys,
list of qualifications. About.
Yeah, she didn't like when I brought that. Oh no. All right, because here's what we're gonna do. Thank you so much, Fawcett. I'm gonna give. I don't know if Kevin Samuels wants to hit the link. Okay. I will. If he does, I will drop you down, Suzette, and then you can come back
I'll
up
listen.
later.
I'll sit up here and listen. Yes, praise God. I will sit up here and listen.
Okay,
whatever
I'm gonna.
You feel is most appropriate.
Okay, I gotta make some room for somebody let me know if Kevin Samuels wants to come up. If the Godfather wants to come up and speak on this, please. A lot of people want to know how he feels. If he does want to come up, I will make some room in the back, because of course we're filled up here. And so yeah, if he wants to come up and give us some knowledge, he absolutely can come through. We would love to see it. Let's do this. Let me I know I've missed some of the super chats. What does Charles say? Charles says, if I own a marijuana dispensary and your degree is in botany, then your degree is useful to me. And see, this is, I think, how guys see it. Guys are like, you know, if you really want to help, then help, right? But don't think that we are going to give you extra points just because you have the degree. You know, if you have a PhD in psychology, I don't know how that's going to help. Is that an achievement? Yes, but please don't expect me to value it so much, right? While we are waiting to see if our man Kevin Samuels wants to come up, we had a woman, we had a man, so let's bring up another woman. Let's bring up some reinforcements. We got Chantel. Chantel in the house. How are you doing, Chantel?
Just an absolute blur in transition, and that helps.
Did someone see if Kevin Samuels said he wants to come up?
Hi, Lead. Hi, Suzette.
How are you doing, Chantel?
To shed the defense.
Can you hear me?
To the bucket, and you get the lay-in.
Chantel?
I'm doing well. I think there's a delay in my mic. Is there?
I don't know. We'll talk for a second. If there's a delay, we're not gonna be able to work with it, to be honest. It's a long delay. But kind of, let's just see. Tell, how do you feel about what you've heard thus far?
And so Horford will bring it up for Los Angeles.
Yeah, this is not going to work, Chantel. I'm so sorry. But thank you for coming up. I appreciate it. Hopefully, if you come back, I'll try to pull you up, because your delay is just way too long. All right, and I think that's all the women that we have on the chat, to be honest. I was trying to get you somebody good, right? Let's get a young buck. Let's get our man Devil's Bane. We got Devil's Bane in the house. Long time no see. Devil's Bane, how are you doing?
Doing well. How you guys doing?
Doing great. All right, we got JP here. JP says, here's the deal. I survived the streets, 20 months in jail, an honorable tour as a paratrooper in the 82nd Airborne Division, BA Econ, MS Analyst. I still got to have game to get the ladies. Accomplishments are not a substitute.
So Horford gets 2.
Yeah, and I think someone
opening night.
someone okay, wait. Someone's saying that Kevin Samuels is
Kevin,
all right.
bringing me
Let me
back.
drop the link.
October
I'm gonna drop the link.
31st, Halloween,
I gotta clear the
1997.
back, guys,
Remember
because
playing
you know
against
when
the
the
Phoenix
when the
Suns,
Godfather
lost
wants to
the
come up,
games,
we
Clippers
gotta
went down
clear the
in
back.
flames.
So
But
give me
man,
a second.
never
We're
forget
gonna no one
stepping
hit the
on that
link
court for the
except
first time.
for Kevin Samuels.
The shot's good from
Oh
Griffin.
damn! You had
Griffin is
two
gonna
things
come to
up,
the game with
Devil's
a certain
Bane.
attitude,
You had two things
and
up.
nights like this where
I
he's
clicked
going
your
after
one thing,
domination,
and
it can be dangerous.
the other thing
Now here's Williams.
also
Kicks it to
disappeared.
Green.
So let me just
And
make
the
some
Lakers
room
with
for
another
our
miss.
man, the Kevin Samuels. Please detox. Please don't
feeling
come
out
up.
of
This
it.
link is just for Kevin Samuels and making some room.
No good. Shot missing.
All
Good
right.
work
I
defensively
think
by
we got
Horford.
enough. Give us 1 second here.
Here's Tice. The shot's good.
All right, what
On
does
the assist by
JP say?
Horford.
Oh, we already talked about that. What do you think about
Solid and
JP's
unique big man in
comment
today's
that
game. Horford's
men
passing
men can
skills
have so
and
much and
ability
it's
to
not
find the
valued
open
by
teammate is
the women?
very
Okay, all right,
special.
let me stop. Don't answer that question. Shout out to
Here's
JP. Thank you so much, and you're exactly right. So we have the. Rob is exactly right. We got Kevin Samuels in the house. He is about to cook.
Some nice ball movement.
You know, this
by
is not
Tatum
an ambush. Would you like to stay up here?
from 11 feet away.
I will
Would you like to
listen,
be
and if
brought
I have
down?
one or two questions, I may ask, but I
Got
will
a
listen.
second bucket of the night.
Fantastic.
One
And
of the
listen,
more
let me
skilled
just
offensive
say
players that is on the
again,
floor
you
here
know,
tonight.
we're talking
Not
to
an easy
someone who
fella
has an
to
immense
hold in
amount of
check.
knowledge, so it would be a waste. You know, a lot of people wait hours to
Bridges
talk to
passes to
him,
Covington.
and they never
Can't
get the
connect from
chance.
short
So
range.
I know,
This has not been
Suzette,
a
I
good
know,
quarter
but
right
you
here.
know,
Shot
you were
has
kind
been
of in the
off the mark, and
cohort
now it looks,
women
Kevin, like
that he
he's
talks
pressing a
to.
bit.
Back
Right?
to Tice.
So this
Pass
is
to
a
Williams.
great opportunity. So let's bring up the one and the only. We got the Godfather in the house, making a double appearance. How are you doing, Kevin Samuels?
I am well. I am well. In between
We talk a lot
sessions,
about the Mount Rushmore of
just
the
funny,
game's
I
greatest
just got off
players.
session
we
with
can start
a
the
Harvard-educated attorney.
Wow.
She's
Yeah.
allowed
So
the sixth men of the year in the NBA.
here's the
Williams
thing:
would
you
have to
guys are
get some
talking,
serious
you're discussing
consideration
education
for
and,
that monument.
and
And
things
now
like
the first
that.
time out
And
called here for Tampa.
what I think a lot of women need to understand is something called
They're
attraction
like a
syndrome.
4-day-old.
Most often women are wanting because here's the reality, because they don't have what we want. They're trying to make what they have substitute. It's like if you don't accept currency, you know, well, I want to buy this car. We only accept US dollars and euros. Well, I've got pesos or I got a yen. We don't accept that. Well, we can convert it. It doesn't convert. What you have does not convert to what we want. And what men have always wanted in women: fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submission. Submission is respectful cooperation, and childless. That's what matters to men across the board. And the higher up you go, the more restrictive it becomes. Now, what you typically don't hear is women who have those things and their education being single.
Wow, that's true.
They don't tend to find, because there's a subset of women who I've defined as nice modern women. And these women often call themselves traditional. But you're not traditional. Let me explain why. Traditional women, men are not an option, they're a requirement because family is paramount. If you're a traditional woman, you were raised to value family above self. So the likelihood of you reaching age 27 and being unmarried is unlikely for true traditional women. There's not a matter of I'll do it afterwards. This is why you find so many women who are from different cultures who start to prioritize relationship. They all go to college. You know, they go to college, but in our community, Black women have been told to take your 20s for yourself, where they think 26 is young for marriage, when actually 27 is old for marriage. What I'm going to be talking about going forward is what's going on in China and the impact of their attempt to socially engineer a population is devastating them. But in China, women over 27 are called shengyu, leftover women. Leftover women. Women who may be young for a human, but old for marriage, and old for several reasons. One, the biology. It amazes me how many times I hear women who are who are late 20s, early 30s, all wanting to have 2 or 3 kids. It's like, okay, well then, who's going to raise these children? Because you ask her, do you want to work to pay significant bills? Oh, no, I don't know, not a problem. But when I ask, what percentage of the overall family financial load do you want to have to be responsible for a lifetime? Inevitably, it's less than 20%. Then you want to have a middle class and upper middle class lifestyle. That's when the numbers and everything start to come out. It's like you want a man who's earning the kind of money to where your money, if you stop working, would not impact the man. And you want to be able to do this at a later age. And my thing is this: the men you want something from a woman, and a younger woman who may, because I only deal with educated women, but I don't deal with women whose education is paramount to them to where they're on partner track, such and so forth, because I don't have to. I don't have to. And there are plenty of women who follow me who will tell, who come on and say, I was going down that path, but then when I found the guy that I knew that I should be with, I would decide to go down his path. And that's why she's married to a cardiac surgeon right now. And she was at Harvard with me. So in the black community, in order for professional black women to get what they say they want, they're going to have to stop prioritizing what the men say we want.
Absolutely. Let me jump in right quick, because what I heard a lot when talking to Suzette today and the other days, and I think other women echo this too, is that they say, well, you know, a huge part of the reason that we women are like this is because how we were raised, you know, what our parents taught us, and, you know, how we were brought up. Is there a cure for that, or what do you think?
Not the cure, TLA. Oh my, excuse me.
Well, a lot of women are in a situation that they don't want to be in.
Is there a fix for it?
Mm-hmm.
It's called accountability. It's like a lot of black men weren't raised with a father. We weren't raised to be the men. We weren't raised to be the men we are. We had to fix it. Nice. See, the stuff that we talk about over here, Shahrazad Ali and her ilk have been talking about that for the longest. Now the problem is when it gets right down to it, we can have these intellectual discussions back and forth, but I have spoken to thousands of women, and I have yet to have a woman honestly think that the things that we talk about really are going to impact her. I had a conversation just Tuesday. I'm going to be uploading it. That you ask the average middle class, the middle income, weren't earning, mother of 2, blah, blah, are you going to have enough to live on and retire on? And they cannot conceptualize a life that it doesn't work for them, because they saw their grandmothers and aunties and everybody be okay. But what they don't realize is if you're late 30s or 40s, you saw a generation that had, you know, a stronger nuclear family, an extended family, all these other kind of things. And the notion that, you know, it's just going to work, they all think it's going to work. Right. Or else, why are they moving? Why are there women who seem to have all this reluctance moving in such a lackadaisical way?
Yeah, do you hear from a lot of women? We had a woman up today, she was a Jamaican woman. And, you know, I was the issue had come up about whether she would actually approach men. And she said, no, you know, I would never approach a man. And then she said, well, the right man just has to come, right? The whole manifestation, he just has to come, right? Do you encounter that a lot? A lot of women feel that way?
Every single night. Every single night. To the point to where it is damn near a pathology. I mean, I understand. It's from women who are childless with children. They all feel like they are going to win. And even when you sit down and I've talked to women who are high level, masters, law degrees, it's like, well, yeah, but it's this whole manifesting, speak it into existence. But then you ask them, what in your dating life has shown you that this is going to work? What is the probability? And most women give themselves at least a 50-50 shot. Most give themselves a 70% shot at this happening. This is why you see so many women who are just not taking mating as a competitive thing it is. I'm just going to rely on the universe, my friend group, the church, or the sorority, or whatever. This is why black matchmakers are leaving, because black women think getting a man of value should be free. Matter of fact, he should find them.
Right, that's what they were saying. That's what that lady said. Oh, he'll find me. You know, he's gonna come. He has to come. He's coming.
Mm-hmm. And he's gonna come, and he's gonna go right by you. Because when he sits down with you, he's gonna find a woman who has not prioritized understanding men, understanding what men want. He's gonna find a woman who's going to sit down in front of him and at best interview him. And it's like, well, and this man is sitting around thinking, well, I don't need your money. I'm doing just fine on my own. Life is going. What can you be in my life? And most women lead with what they do. And what they do is for their paycheck. You have spent no time studying or preparing for what you're supposed to be for me. So when I asked the whole question, but you got a cookbook?
I don't need a cookbook.
You
what?
You know, I don't need a cookbook. I don't need this. Okay, well, you want these children. Who's going to cook for them? And it's like, well, family planning. Who's going to do this? Who's going to do that? It'll work out. God. All right. Well, I'll say this especially to my college-educated professional women. Men are looking to see that you put the equal amount of effort or more into getting a man as you did getting that career and that degree. And if you're not doing it, sorry that you didn't learn it. Sorry that your mama didn't teach it. Sorry that you were lied to. But the world is a cold, harsh place. It's not your fault. It is your responsibility. You're behind, and you need to run harder.
Mr. Simmons, may I ask? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Absolutely.
Mr. Simmons, may I ask? It sounds like.
You call me Kevin.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. With respect to that shift that you're talking about in mindset, to me, it has to be almost across the board, like a massive cultural shift with how women in the Black community are seeing themselves versus what you're telling us that men are seeing as valuable. I know what you're doing in terms of your platform is a part of that cultural shift, but what else? I mean, for those who are not in the manosphere, I'm new to the manosphere. For those who are not kind of open their ears or are just like you're saying, they're following other prescriptions that are clearly not working. How does that cultural shift start to happen, or what can we do so that men and women are not speaking like literally two different languages as far as what they're seeking out in partnership, or what their expectations of how partnership will come about or marriage will come about?
Okay. So what I think I heard you say was, in order for this to work, it has to be a seismic shift in the culture.
Yes.
Nope. 10% will do. Nope. Tipping point. Nope. See, here's what I would do. I would do it with a woman like you. You're in Florida, right?
I am.
Mm-hmm. I'd say take you and all your friends that you think are on your level. All right, and I'd take one or two men and maybe 8 of you guys, and I'd put those 2 men who are marriage-minded, looking for wives at that time, and I'd throw a pencil in them. I'd throw a pencil, a stick, and a knife, and I'd say fight.
I think the introduction of the zone, by and large, has been great.
Who do you think? What you gonna do? Your best friend, your bestie, your sorority sister, your girl, your junior league. What you gonna do?
Well, you said a pencil, a stick, and a knife. Which one am I gonna go?
Pencil, stick, and a knife. There's 8 of y'all. Pencil, stick, and a knife.
And we can only so only the men that my goodness. Hunger Games. Ooh. I hear you, sir. I hear you.
But the thing is, what you gonna do?
Stab another woman is what you're saying? Or I mean, not literally, but like fight her down to get that man?
What you gonna do?
Gilgeous-Alexander's got 7 now.
Not a stick. I don't think.
In the second quarter, much
I don't know. I don't know.
And
I
see
think
what happens.
your point is
What
well
happens?
taken.
And what happens, lead, is just like on Bear Grylls Island season 2. Women want to lead by committee, and they don't want to be rude to each other. They want to be nice, and they'll sit there. And I have these 2 men who are ready to go, and every minute of the lead attorney's life is from his billable hours. You wasted 15 minutes of this high value man's time, not wanting to offend your friend. You're wasting all this time, and then eventually, what I'll do is, what I'll do is I'll put a wall where you are, and then I'll push a button. The wall will drop for where you are, and then here come in the white women. And the same pencil, the stick, and the knife will be where the white women, and say, here are the 2 men, 8 white women. Guarantee you, you would see Hunger Games.
They would fight, yeah, absolutely.
Right. And that's my thing. Black women, you have been made to not even be in line with your nature. You're supposed to be ready to compete for what it is you want. See, if I said there's a partner position, or if I had said that there is some status, or that you and all your sorority sisters and girls wanted, you guys would fight for that because you deem it more valuable. That's what that example shows us. Our women don't even feel that we're valuable enough to offend one another for, much less fight.
Yeah.
So how do you have a cultural? So how do you see a cultural shift?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So how you see a cultural shift with the one woman who recognizes that whether you use a pencil, a knife, or a stick, it doesn't matter. All she had to do was walk over there and do something. I didn't say what to do, but the fact of the matter, they don't do a damn thing. They expect us to come do it. So the one woman who has been listening to, whether they listen to the manosphere, because a lot of women listen to me. My channel is over 30% women. And whether they hear it from me, this is getting out worldwide. And women are starting to say, you know what? I don't like it, but I put the corporate girl thing to the side, and I put the thing that I thought I was feminine, I thought I was this, I thought I was that. I did what you said to do for a month, and I'm in a serious relationship. I'm engaged now. Here's my wedding. See, and what happens is when a woman sees somebody, women notice change in other women. You see a woman you've known for a long time, you ain't seen her in 6 months, she lost a few pounds. Oh girl, you're looking good, you lost some weight, such and so forth. You see that rock on her hand?
Right.
What? And how'd that happen? Girl, I learned how to be sex sandwich in silence. That's what I did. I learned how to turn off the not be right. I knocked off this bullshit, this BS conditional femininity, and I started walking around in my feminine, and I started vibrating at a level to where masculine men could see me. So where I stopped with the princess kind of idea, like that has to come to me, and started realizing I got to compete for the kind of rare man that I think is special. And then when I get him, I got to do something and be something, and I got to take pleasure in doing and being, because I want, just as much as I want him to feel like he has me and I'm special to him, I need to make him feel like that every day, because when he leaves, the competition is fierce. This is why so many sisters laugh when you see other groups of women out early in the morning jogging or running or eating salads and drinking water, because they know that they got to compete.
Right.
And when I asked the average Black woman, would you cut your friend off at the kneecaps to get to that man? She says, no. Well, buy a dog and die alone.
What is it?
I mean, I'm serious because see, in the first example I gave, the way it has typically gone is, well, there's a pencil, a stick, and a knife. There's a room. Eventually, he's gonna want some sex. So all I have to do is sit here and wait. And we live in a connected global world now, to where I need Black women to understand. Becky, Marisol, Myling, and Jamila are watching y'all. They're watching y'all not go after your men. They're watching you talk about the dating market is trash and this and that, and they're like, They are studying. They are enrolling in Dr. Tiasan Johnson's class on Black masculine studies at University of California, Fresno. He said the largest amount of women enrolled in his Black masculinity studies were white women. And he said, why? Yeah, because they said, well, I'm opening my dating preferences up and I need to learn these guys. Black women think men should be free, much less go study for this. Come on, man. Now it's Latin women. So my question to the professional women is, what do you think you should have to do to get a man that you value? Because we often talk about the men that ain't getting it done. Well, I'm talking about the men that you value, since they're so rare, so hard to find. What is it that you think you should have to do? And oftentimes all you hear is nothing.
So listen, really appreciate you coming on and dropping that knowledge. There are so many women in Suzette's situation. I know down here in Atlanta, I know that for a fact. I've dated them, right? And it seems like these are, at the same time, these are very intelligent, very smart women, but at the same time, they can't figure out what the root of the problem is. They look up and they say, well, why am I in this situation? Why don't I have kids? Why am I thinking about, freezing my eggs? It wasn't supposed to be like this. And they don't have any answers.
We're not taught to fight, TLA. Excuse me. That's what sorry to interrupt, but I see that. The only people that talk like Mr. How Kevin has just expressed himself, and it was, again, at an earlier time in my life, are like, and not to be like classist, but my hood cousins talk like that. My hood younger female cousins would be like, you have to fight for your man, you have to fight and get him. They were talking like that from day one. And again, I was taught, and again, that's no excuse. That's like, whoa, that's like, not cool, low class, whatever. But yeah, they were very in tune with that, and they were very in tune with their being this war, this competition. But again, we're not. Yes, go ahead.
Well, see, so I'm gonna use my Uno reverse card now. I don't buy that. I'm gonna tell you why. Because all I have to do to get a different outcome is change the two men. I bring in two white men, Italian men, little brown, dark hair, good looking, and have 8 black women in there. Automatically, they look at those men and know. Stick, knife, they know. What do you start to see? They start smiling. Posture stands up. They're not looking to see what's going on. They're looking to see who's moving toward the stick. They're flipping their hair. Black women know non-black man, he ain't gonna put up with this bull crap. He has to be competed for. But you know what? If I get Prince Henry, or if I get the dude from Red, if I get him, I get extra points. Especially if he's a man of value. Oh man. So yeah, no. And the funny thing is, black women, you want to know what to do for black men? Do for black men what you would do for a white man, and that would be just fine.
Right.
Yeah, I know what to do, because it's the same thing you do at work. How do you get that promotion? You get to work, you stay late, you do extra homework, you win, you make a company bottom line, you bring in that client, you do all that stuff. You know how to do this. You do all that. But you only do it for the men you deem that are valuable. So it's not that you weren't taught. What I'm telling you is biological. What's been done is the ethnic image of the black man in your mind has been so devalued to where he's not even worth considering for competition. This is why you say you love us and do all the other things, but the only time we see your love is when George Floyd something happened, or when somebody been shot. But you ask the average black man, when's the last time you had a woman just be nice, smile? There was a whole big thing about smiling for the longest. So what is it going to actually take? It's going to take about 10% of women breaking away from the hive mind group thing. Start being proud pick-me's. Start being proud women who associate with not just talking, actually doing something and being something. Because those women, when they make their presence known, just like they do in my Facebook group, The Mix, they get snapped up. you know, I get like you put it in the comment section earlier. I've gotten people married and coupled on accident. Why is that? Why is a man who runs a Facebook group got more success than these so-called matchmakers? Because I started with what the men want.
Gotcha. So if you focus on what the men want, then maybe everything kind of falls in line, because if you do it the other way and focus on what the women want and maybe the women's priorities, then maybe you end up in a situation like this where 62% of the Black women are single.
Well, and see, women look at stats like that, and it's so big, and it's like there's safety in numbers. I'm looking for the one woman who says, I'm looking for the one woman who's going to go sit at the bar at Ruth Chris on a Tuesday night and go for hers. Right. See, you have to be willing to cut your friends off, because if you're friends for a very good reason. You guys are similar in a lot of ways. That means you probably like the same kinds of men. If there's only one, what are you going to do? You got to compete for them. And if you don't compete, open the door and somebody else will. That's what it comes down to. And the thing is, lastly, that the woman who's I asked the other day, I asked a woman last night, if you were dealing with a man who was the kind of man you want, marriage minded, and told you he wanted to be with you, but for some reason that he can't necessarily explain to you or that you understand, he has an issue with your single friends. And he says, look, I respect who they are. They are your past. I'm your future. But we can't go forward in life or in marriage with them as your friends. You have to make a choice. And I respect your choice either way. You know what she chose, right? She chose her friends.
Wow.
And I said, that is crazy. It is against your biology to choose your friends over your man and your family. And the funny thing is, most of these women claim to be Christian. I'm like, well, then if you're supposed to leave and cleave from your family, where do you think your friend's supposed to be? But here's the funny thing, and I got to run. Many women aren't even willing to give up social media.
Right.
They don't want to give up anything. So it's like, my question to the women who think we're always bashing and don't talk about the men and such and so forth. Well, the men have been under examination since D.W. Griffith's Birth of a Nation from 1950. We've had enough. My question is this: what do you expect your brothers, your cousins, and your nephews to do if women aren't willing to actively get out there and compete for these men who are thorough and approve themselves to be ready to move down? What are they supposed to do? Are they supposed to just sit and wait for you guys to get yourself together? Or are they supposed to go ahead and keep the race going? That's the hard question. So, well, I'm gonna let that run. I know several people probably want to get in here, and I got a call I have to get to. This will be continued, especially tomorrow. A lot of stuff going on. So appreciate you guys. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kevin Samuels, the Godfather, blessing us. Thank you so much, Kevin Samuels. Really appreciate it. All right. Love it, love it, love it when the Godfather comes through and expresses his knowledge and experience that he has doing this for so long. Super deep. And Suzette, we got Suzette with some questions in, right? Absolutely.
I decided to speak. Suzette decided to speak.
Suzette speak. So again, shout out to Kevin Samuels. And let me give a big salute to Kevin Samuels. What do you say? Give my likes up, right? If y'all can hit the like button, if y'all could subscribe as well, thank you so much. Thank you to all the people who were doing the super chats as well. Really, really appreciate that, guys. Thank you all for liking the video. All right, let's keep this going. And what we'll probably do, we'll probably close the back. So everybody who's back here will be reached. But you know, we've been going for 4 hours. All right, so we've been doing it. What is Hank? Shout out to Hank Tyrone for the 404. Hank is always supporting, such a strong brother. Shout out to all the Sigmas. Shout out to all the military vets. What does he say? At Kevin Samuels, excellent show over the past month, focusing on the ages of 33 to 40, the danger zone, right? Thank you for last night's episode, giving specific steps that high-value women need to do from now on. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much for this, Hank Tyrone. You are always so generously supporting me, supporting the live, supporting the streams. Really appreciate it.
Hank Tyrone.
Hank Tyrone is the absolute man. Shout out to Hank Tyrone. Shout out to all the Sigmas crossing the burning sands. All right, let's bring up, I think we were going to bring up Devil's Bane. I don't see him. He must have dropped off. Oh, we were going to, let's try this again. I think we were trying to bring up Chantel. Chantel, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes. You know, just quickly, let me know, what did you do to fix the lag issue?
Oh, well, I was in my work office. I just moved. I switched laptops.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
It was on my end.
Where are you from? It sounds like you have an accent.
Yeah, I'm originally from Jamaica too, Suzette.
Oh, got the Jamaicans in the house. Shout out to the Jamaicans.
And I'm also from South Florida, so we have those two things in common.
Excellent. Do you live in South Florida now?
No, I moved to Dallas last year.
Dallas, okay. Everybody moving out there. So yeah, what did you think about this? You know, you heard Suzette speak. You know how you heard our interaction, and then we had some people on. We had the Godfather on. Kind of, what's your take on all of this?
So being from South Florida too, I can relate to what Suzette is saying. And I'm not taking away from her argument. There's definitely pee in the dating pool, as the last caller said. However, I think as Black women, we tend to focus too much on what the men aren't doing and the lack of men, rather than if we are qualified for those men that we want. Not to, as I said I say on my channel, I'm not trying to bash or shame anybody, because that's what they always say, you're bashing Black women. But not to bash Black women, but we need to look within to see, are we even qualified for the men we want?
Can you expound on that? Because I know they're going crazy in the chat. Are we even qualified? What does that mean?
The weight, for example, as Black women, right? A lot of us are overweight. We know men like women who are fit, feminine, friendly, as Kevin would say, right? So we as Black women will have our list, but then we don't look within and say, okay, the man on the list, he's going to want something too. What does he want? And am I qualified for that? Am I that person that he wants?
Why do you think, Chantel?
They got a few curves, though. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm shutting up. You go ahead, Suzette. No, I was just gonna say, I think that's the disconnect between Black men and Black women.
Why do you think that Black women do not focus on what would make themselves more attractive to Black men? Why do you think they see it the other way around?
Because we were raised to say, I'm the prize, I'm the table, he's supposed to take me for how I am. However, that's no excuse, because if, like for myself, for example, I'm 30, right? And I had that mindset, oh, I'm the table, I'm the prize, I can get to whatever weight, I can wear how much weave and nails and lashes, and the guy's gonna accept me for who I am, how I am. But my results were saying completely different. I wasn't getting married. There weren't men of value that I wanted lining up at my door. It was the Pookie and the Ray Rays and I call them feminine energy men lining up at my door. And I had to look within and say, okay, I can't just say I'm the table. I can't just say, oh, my lady parts are what I'm bringing to this relationship. I have to see if I'm qualified for the man that I want. And that's when I realized it was the masculine energy. It was because I have my MBA too. I went to school. I said I'm Jamaican, I'm immigrant, go to school, don't focus on boys, get your education. But it's our responsibility, especially after a certain age, if we're not getting our desired results, to ask the hard questions. We can't just blame our upbringing. We can't just blame, oh, my parents didn't teach me and there wasn't the manosphere when I was growing up. We have to take responsibility and take accountability.
Got you. You said that you recognize some traits that maybe men might not really appreciate so much, and you changed some things about yourself. you know, what would you say to women who are find themselves in Suzette's situation? There's so many of them, especially here in Atlanta, highly educated, attractive, and they can't find a good partner. What would you suggest maybe they look, some areas they might change within themselves that might help them secure the man that they say that they want?
I would say come over this space, the Black Manosphere, and listen not to react, and listen not to debate or anything, but listen, genuinely listen. And if there's something within yourself, you know, we can all start with something as simple as the fitness aspect. If there's something within yourself that you know, okay, I can lose some weight. You know, we live in a age where social media and Snapchat filters kind of turn many of our women delusional. Like they think that they're hotter than they actually are.
So
interesting. I think we're just the media panders to us. We need to look within and really tell ourselves this. I mean, I'm guilty of it too. I was 20 pounds overweight during the quarantine, and I thought I was still hot. Not to say I wasn't hot or I was ugly, but you know, I had to look within and be honest with myself, and it hurts sometimes. I cry because, I mean, Kevin just mentioned your friends. You have things in common with your friends, and when I observe my friends, all my friends are masculine. All my friends are unmarried, and I had to look and say, oh well, this is probably why I found myself at 30 and not married. I thought I was going to be married by 27. Nobody couldn't tell me anything. But then luckily I got to the point, and shout out to my aunt who is in Jamaica. She's able to coach me through it. But luckily I got to the point where I can't just blame the men. I can't blame the lack of men. I can't blame men not wanting to get married or there are no good men around. I can't blame that. I have to look within. And it breaks my heart to see so many Black women older than me still blaming the men, still blaming, oh, men don't want to get married or there are not enough men around. It breaks my heart because that's a childlike mentality. At what point are you going to look in the mirror and take some kind of accountability, even if it's to say, yeah, I can lose a little weight, or yeah, men don't like weave, let me take out my weave.
Interesting. And when you made these changes, did that help you? Were you able to secure a relationship or a marriage, or did you see it working?
I do observe it working. I'm not married yet, but it is working in terms of the quality of men that I started attracting, and then how I have been approaching my relationships. My relationships have been more peaceful in terms of where I'm able to let the man be a man, let him lead, and just know that, okay, he wears the pants in the relationship. Everything doesn't have to be an argument. I know I used to say, oh, I love those little fun back and forth too, but men don't like it. Men don't want challenges. Men don't want to always be going back and forth. Where do you want to eat? I don't know. Like, you know, just make a decision. So in learning what I'm learning and having YouTube is great. Just even being in the chat, you can learn a lot in the chat. So just getting that support and education from men has helped me improve my dating life. Yeah.
May I ask a question, please?
Absolutely.
So are these single girlfriends, are you following the Kevin Samuels prescription? Have you cut them off?
Most definitely. Well, all of my friends are in Florida, so there's a reason why I'm currently in Dallas.
Okay, so
so I kind of removed myself from the situation, surround myself, as I said, my aunt, I know she's listening now, my aunt in Jamaica, so the Jamaicans are listening to your channel in Jamaica. So yeah, my sister is married. I just surround myself with, even though it's few, because most of my friends are single and still blaming men for their relationship patterns. So even though it's a few people I can surround myself with, I did move out from that city. And
you literally had to move and take away yourself, as we say, from that
exactly, because I'm not playing no games. I'm trying to get married. I'm not playing games. So yeah.
Wow. I'm glad you could share that experience. Thank you. That's awesome.
That is awesome. Well, shout out to you, Chantel Simone. You have a YouTube channel?
I do. It is my name, Chantel Simone.
I'll be following as soon as I get off.
Oh, thank you.
Perfect. Shout out to Chantel Simone. If one of the mods can drop the link to her channel in the chat, that would be great. Thank you so much, Chantel, for coming up.
Thank you for having me. Bye.
No problem. All right, let's give some equal time to the bros here. Let's give some equal time to the bros. Let's pull up the man right here. We got Ola. How are you doing? We can't hear you. You're muted. Okay. Can you unmute yourself?
Oh, you gotta unmute, Ola.
All right, can you hear me now?
There we go.
All right, so sorry about that. I muted the mic as well. Yeah.
Excellent. We got the man of prestige over here. Excellent. So you heard what Chantel said. You heard what Kevin Samuel said. What Suzette and I, we were kind of going back and forth in the beginning. Other people came in. What's your opinion on all of this?
Oh man, I was gonna ask you for your opinion, but I think it's your show, so I think I should give my opinion. You're right.
Yeah.
So my opinion is that the sign languages, I get it. The conversation is about talking.
And where
to
are you
ladies.
from? I hear an accent as well.
I'm Nigerian. I'm Nigerian. Yeah, I'm Nigerian. The thing is that the sign languages, we see the sign languages as a negative thing. I don't think it's a negative thing.
For those who don't know what you're talking about, what are the sign languages?
Right. So look at how long we've been on for 4 hours. TLA has been on for 4 hours to unpack this conversation. Certain conversations when it comes to romance and relationship will take time. And a lot of time when we try to push the rhetoric of facts and all this kind of things down, we're just trying to get to the answer very fast. We're not patient. And it's not just relationship, it's in life. It's something that high value men, the true high value men actually understand. Sometimes it takes time to get to the core of the conversation, to get to what somebody is trying to say. I think across board, I think most ladies take their time and they will speak sign languages. It's just what it is. You just have to learn how to ask quality questions, TLA know what that is, to get to the bottom. And don't take an offense to that. I understand we're supposed to be talking to the ladies, but I also wanted to make a point that let's not be too quick to judge the sign language. A lot of times, like shout out to the...
Wait, when you say let's not be too quick to judge the sign language, what does that mean?
So
when you say let's not be too quick, is sign language good or is it bad?
Is it an acronym for something?
It's neither. It's neither. It's neither good nor bad. It's the point. There's the nature of all of us. When we're talking, when we get caught up in our emotions, we don't necessarily say what we mean to say.
What do you mean, body language?
No, sign language. Maybe they can explain it in the chat. This is a
Hold on now. How are you using? Wait. How are you using the term and you don't even know what it means?
I'm gonna try. Thank you. That's a good point.
Come on. Listen, I hold the women accountable. But now you come up here and you're using phrases that you don't even know what they mean.
Thank you. Hold me accountable, and I'm gonna explain it. So when the gentleman says sign language, or when Kevin Samuel says sign language, that means they're going around and they don't get to the point. Right?
Okay.
That's what it means. That means they're just saying, different. They're not saying what they mean to say. So I don't think that's necessarily. Did I explain that? Did that work?
You explained it incorrectly according to the chat, but okay.
Okay.
I'm lost.
You're lost. Okay. So sign language in real life, the literal meaning of sign language is something that. The deaf and the dumb speak. Right?
Okay. Keep going. I gotta hear this.
Right.
All right.
So now it's become more of a figure of speech, right?
Okay.
Within the manosphere, it's a way to describe that she's not getting to the point. She's not speaking facts. She's speaking emotionally. It's just a figure of speech. Does that help?
Yeah, it helps. I got you. Okay.
All right. So
when you say if she's not, I asked you if you thought it was good or bad, and you said it was neither. But now this definition, it sounds like it's a bad thing if women are not getting to the point.
So good point. So it depends on who is reading that. It depends on who is saying is it good or bad. From me personally, I'm speaking to you. I'm saying I don't think it's either good or bad. I think it's the nature of all of us to speak with our emotions when we get caught up in emotions. That's just what it is. When you start looking at right or wrong, generally you will judge just because you've seen that person as speaking.
I'm not talking. I respect you, but I don't know.
Yeah, no one really knows what you're talking about.
That's okay. Everybody's tired. Everybody's tired. I get it. That's fine. But I still wanted to speak to the point. I won't use sign language. I promise.
Okay. All right. What's the point? You kind of lowered your credibility a little bit. So,
thank you. I appreciate that.
Build it back up.
I'll explain. The reason why I use sign language plus in the chat, if you used it all day long, that's why I used it.
Oh, okay.
Right. So, but basically what I was trying to say is that sometimes to get to the bottom of the conversation, it takes time. That's the point I'm trying to make. We shouldn't be too much in a rush. After all, TLA is not in a rush because he's running this live streams crazy, running it down, right? We shouldn't be in a rush. The idea that we have to get to the fact. See, the double-edged sword of this conversation is that you're going to take this back to your relationship and try to hurry or try to rush your lady to get to the point, and it's going to backfire. And the other side of this double-edged sword is that TLA is going to continue to have these watch hours, and we're going to continue to benefit from it. We're going to be there to continue to support him, right? But I'm just saying, be careful when you say sign language. You can't get to the point that quick. You have to be patient, gentlemen. That's the point. And shout out
take our time and kind of get to the point. That's right. Young man.
To get to the point.
Right?
To get to the point. To get to the point is a function of time and patience. That's just life.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
And I know you always do the shout out to the beginning. Yes, I did want to be a part of the conversation, so I started Man of Prestige. I am not offering any solutions, I'm just having conversations over there. So shout out to you, TLA, for always giving us and I'm going to pay my dues right now to make sure that I pay my respect and support.
Well, I appreciate that. Shout out to my man Ola. You see his name right here. Charlie X said, yeah, I was feeling what he was saying. Charlie, we kind of know what he was saying. So shout out to Ola, Man of Prestige. Y'all go and follow him over there. And one of the moderators could drop the link to his channel. Thank you so much, Ola. Really appreciate it, brother.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Thanks for doing what you're doing. Suzette, nice to meet you.
A pleasure, Ola.
No problem. Thank you. Shout out to all the Nigerians in the house. Shout out to all the Kenyans. Shout out to all the Kikuyus.
Comment.
Your Honor. I'm sorry. See, this is why I can't just pull shit up and just leave it up like I do. I got to read everything. What did he say? Your Honor, this man knows what he's talking about. Yeah, we have his statement stricken from the record. David, it's a funny.
Oh my
I'm sorry, Ola. I did not mean to leave this. I clicked it, I put it up, and I started doing other things, and I saw Suzette laughing. But shout out to you, David. And to be fair to Damien, Ola was a little confused, right? But Charlie X said, listen, I know what Ola's trying to say. I know what he's trying to say. So shout out to Ola.
Back to my Niger brother.
Shout out to David. Shout out to all the Nigerians. Somebody said, man, the Nigerians might have to hold something, right? They might have to hold something. Shout out to way too rough. You are way too rough with that super chat. Thank you. We got a D'Angelo Bell in the house. Thank you so much for becoming a member, D'Angelo. Really, really appreciate it. We got Elephant Room 19. Okay, we got somebody who says, wait, back up, Lee. Let me break it down. Okay. The Nigerians are confused. The Nigerian sector is confused about what the sign language is. Sign language, Elephant Room 219 informs us, is shame, insult, guilt, and the need to be right. All right, so we got the record straight. We got the record straight. All right. My man Damien said, let's strike that from the record, and Elephant Room is gonna supplement the record with the real meaning. All right. So shout out to you. Okay, I'm gonna start reading them now. Shout out to Heard but Not Seen. I can't really have your comment seen, but thank you so much. And then all right, I think I can pull this one up. What is Kashi? Am I reading that right? Kashi? What does Kashi say? The community is ablaze. 5-alarm fire. We don't have time to create a peer-reviewed research paper on firefighting. Let's put out this fire. Absolutely. And I think that's what we are we're kind of doing here. Yes, we're having men and women coming together, calling each other out a little bit, but all focused on the same thing. We got the Godfather making appearances. He is active. It would be so easy for him, guys. Listen for a second. I'm talking as a content creator. It would be so easy for him to say, listen, shout out to Lead, whatever he's doing, but he doesn't have 500,000 subscribers, and I got 1 million myself. I got 1 million, 2 million, 3. I can't be bothered going down there talking to these people, the lowly people, right? Suzette's got 1,000. Actually, I think Suzette's got 1.5. Yeah, Suzette, listen, everybody shout out to Suzette.
Thanks, guys.
Growing, yes. Listen, you guys are supporting Suzette tremendously, right? So y'all are absolutely doing it up. And it would be so easy for Kevin Samuels just to, 1.51. All right. So Suzette, man, you are getting hundreds and hundreds of subscribers. So many people are rocking with you.
Thank you.
It would be so easy for Kevin Samuels to say, listen, I ain't got time to go down there and talk to them. They're not worth it. My time is valuable. I'm doing consults with Harvard educated people. Like, let them do their thing. But no, Kevin Samuels is in these streets. He's in these trenches, not only on this show, but blessing other shows as well. So big shout out to Kevin Samuels. And Kashi's exactly right that we are just trying to, we're all trying to fix this issue. It is an absolute huge issue. And that's why you see, people like Kevin Samuels, people like Suzette Speaks. We're all up here trying to get down to the bottom of it, right? Shout out to Raven. Raven, what did she say? What if someone never had a boyfriend because they were forced to date traditionally and didn't learn to date until their mid-20s and early 30s? Yeah, this is hardcore. And this kind of goes back to what Suzette Speaks as well about being raised a certain way. And a lot of people want to say, hey, we were raised this way, so that is what it is. Kevin Samuel says, stop the bullshit, man. Like, listen, it's not your fault that you were raised this way, but now it is your responsibility. That's what he said. So if you were raised a certain way and you no longer agree with that way, you see flaws in that way, it is not your fault, but it's your responsibility to correct the errors that were implanted in you as a child, right? So I think that's what Kevin Samuels would say. I think that's what a lot of people would say. It comes back to one word: accountability. Yes. Are you going to be accountable for your life at present? You can't really be accountable for what happened to you at 2 or 4 or what your mama told you when you were 12 years old. But today, right? This is all you. You can't reach back and look at mama and blame her anymore. So shout out to Raven, la reina. Ojalá que te encuentres súper bien, Raven. All right, we got James Jones says, if you want people to disrespect and insult you, go ahead. But I'm not accepting sign language. They will need to better articulate their argument. And I like this too. Let's hold these women to what they say. Right. And I know Suzette is like, oh, when I get home, I take off my lawyer hat. Listen, we are all adults and we're going to speak. All right. And if you start speaking sloppily, expect people to kind of help you clean it up. And they'll be, oh, now we're going to parse the words. And no. Just speak precisely. Speak precisely so that we can get on the same page. So shout out to James Jones. I'm right there with you, James Jones. I want to hold these women and these men. And listen, the Nigerian, shout out to Ola. He came up here. Did you see me give Ola a pass when it became clear to me with my half an ear that Ola didn't know what the fuck he was talking about? Then I was like, hold up, Ola, hold up. Now, are you saying that this is not a negative thing? And then when he started tap dancing, did you just see me let him off the hook? No, I kept my foot on the gas a little bit, right? So we're calling the men and the women out. We're calling the Jamaicans and the Nigerians out. All right, we are being equal. Bumba clock. We're being equal across the board. All right, we're preaching accountability for both sides. All right, I pulled up some comments that weren't great about our Nigerian Ola. All right, the whole country had to take an L today. All right, so all the women who are like, oh, Lee just beats up on women. No, I beat up on Nigerians too. All right, also all the people in the motherland. We're calling it fair. So yes, we are. This is across the board. What does our man of Prestige say? Shout out TLA. If you elephant room, where's the accountability? Sign language is used to describe going in circles, not the shaming. All right, Ola, again,
Wow.
you're giving the Nigerians a bad name.
Wow.
You're saying sign language is not is not the shaming, when the S in the sign language, I believe, stands for the shaming. And so, it doesn't sound like our man of Prestige really wants to accept the accountability portion, right? Sometimes we fight back when we shouldn't fight back, and this is true, Some people double down. Some people absolutely double down on stuff. So we don't let the women do it, so we ought not let the men do it either. And Ola, you've been on my show. You've been up here. I love when you come up here and shout out your channel, but I can't let you slide. I can't let you slide either if you're not really making a lot of sense. What does the U.S. law says? Can the court take judicial notice of the fact that our Nigeria brother had no idea what he was talking about? He didn't. He really didn't, guys. And I want everybody in the chat to recognize that I called him out. Right? Don't tell me, I'm calling Suzette out, but I'm letting the brothers pass. Nobody's passing. All right. Everybody needs to make sense. Words have meaning, and let's put them together in an accurate way. Look at Suzette.
Lord, I got you.
No, it's not about catching. Listen, it's not about catching. We're staying right here. And if you start to swerve off a little bit, I'm going to just push us right back. That's all. You start
you in the Hellcat. I'm enjoying this ride, and you like. Rah, rah, rah.
Well, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it next week on your channel. All right,
Yes.
We're absolutely gonna do it next week. I'm not letting Suzette slide, but damn, Nigeria, don't represent the whole sector right back. Yeah, we can take judicial notice on that. We can absolutely do. Shout out to our man. What does Joseph say?